became
We'll be back
normal.
to Monday next week.
Yeah, we'll be
back to Monday
yeah.
just in time for me to go to Japan.
Exactly. Yeah, the perfect timing.
Perfect timing. The absolute best. Nothing but the best. Nothing but the best. Nothing but the best. Simply the best. I'm assuming you're having guests while I'm gone?
Yeah, that's the plan.
I almost launched into, if you have any Monday shows without a guest, just do it earlier, and you could probably just call me for a little bit. I could probably do
well, that'd be interesting. Yeah, I mean, you let me know once you're there, like what you're feeling, and if you get there and you're like, F this, I don't feel like doing anything. Like, I do not blame you, man. Take the time.
Oh yeah, it's more just about audio quality. I can definitely. It's very easy to talk to you from a phone. That'd be very easy. But having a any sort of decent mic, audio quality would be tough. It'd be tough. But yeah.
Hello, everybody.
Pokemon, you say yeah. Well, we'll talk about. We're going to talk about that at the end of the program. We're not going to do it right now.
Yeah, when the program, the programming.
The program has a program.
The program. What the? I've got the wrong notes open. Is what I've got.
But we do have a lot of docs.
Yeah,
I was about to launch into how, and then I was like, I know exactly how.
Yep.
I know
I
exactly.
was in the video show notes. I had a title idea. I put in there. And all that shit gets busy.
Oh yeah. This is where I would put a graphic of Pokemon leaks if I was allowed to show them.
Yeah. Well, we'll talk about that. We'll talk about that here.
Ain't no one gonna shut us down unless they do in fact shut us down. They could shut us down. They have the power.
It's a bold new future sometimes.
It's so bold.
Wait, are those your favorites, Das? Because I have the starters as it's Chikorita, T-Pig, and Totodile for this new one, right?
I believe those are Das's favorites.
Okay.
I'm going to go with Das's favorites.
Squirtle, Gardevoir. That's the only one I don't know is Giratina.
Giratina?
Oh, shit. That one's badass.
I'm not sure I know Gardevoir either.
Gardevoir is the one that gets smashed the most.
Oh yeah, that's just a person.
Yeah, it's basically a person with a carapace haircut.
Oh.
And Gardevoir is the typical smash.
I know Giratina. Giratina looks sick.
Yeah, Giratina is kind of badass.
Giratina is what I imagine a Tarrascan Pokemon form would look like.
Oh, okay. I like that.
Yeah, just no, this is all right. Listen, I'm a Gen 1 boy. I'm a Gen 1. I'm a child of Gen 1. I tend to be quick to judgment on newer Pokemon.
What the shit?
It's freaking all right. Literally Pokemon Satan. Hell yeah, that's metal as shit. I don't care if his name ends in Tina.
Can't even
That's
read
metal
this.
as shit.
And Pokemon cards are just illegible.
We don't talk about Vaporeon. You're talking about it. You are now talking about Vaporeon.
You brought it up. I still don't know what that is, and I'm happier for it. I intend to go as long as possible.
I'm going to say legitimately I find it humorous. Like they meme formatted it so well that I do find it funny. It's horribly disturbing. It's not something I would like send to my mother to laugh at her.
Yeah.
But no, it's pretty funny. It's pretty funny. People love to bring it up though because it's uncomfortable.
I understand.
And that's what we do on the internet. We exist to make each other uncomfortable.
What's going on here? Oh yeah. I haven't seen any of the new shit. I've seen a decent amount of the new Ash. Are they even named Ash?
No.
But they also have a Pikachu, but they're also very Ash adjacent, but they're not named Ash?
Oh, wait, no, hold up.
It's a new voice performer, I know that.
Because it might be Ash. They changed the style, so I don't know. I'm old, Kyle.
Well, it just takes time. It's not about being old. It's about where your investment is.
I was talking to someone in their 20s this morning. I was helping out New Mexico State University, as I do sometimes. And I was talking to someone in their 20s. and they were like, "Hey, can you help us with a video?" I was like, "Yeah, sure. When do you need it by?" And they were like, "There's not a huge rush." I was like, "Oh, okay. I'm gonna be traveling starting the 24th." And they're like, "Oh yeah, for your honeymoon, right?" And I just started laughing because I was just like, "Thank you for unintentionally complimenting me, Gen Zer. I am, if you forgot, old." So I think it's really cute that you think I'm going on my honeymoon and not my 10-year anniversary.
Oh, that's a part of I don't think that's right. You know why?
I thought it was.
Why is that
sweet.
Why does that make you old? Why would it make you old?
I don't know. I'm just assuming that I haven't gotten married yet.
People get married all the time at all kinds of ages.
Assumption of age. Listen, if you want to be technically correct on the internet, sure, you make a good point, Kyle. But I think it's an indication of implied age. If you just assume someone isn't married or is married yet.
Yeah.
We're talking about just the reality of how your brain works, not what is most polite.
Yeah, I'm faced with this more and more just in the media I consume because I continue to listen to people my own age and they continue to make jokes about being old, and it rubs me wrong, but I also don't want to be that 60-year-old guy who's saying I'm 60-year-olds young. I don't want to be weird about it either in the other extreme, so I'm not really sure how to deal with it because I definitely do have these. I'm with you, man. I don't know. I don't feel old very often, but when I do, it doesn't bother me that much. I don't know. I'm probably because I'm in that sweet spot where, you're considered an adult, but it's not like I'm having any. I don't wake up every day with crippling back pain. Which, by the way, that sends me. That sends me when I see memes from what I'm assuming is the generation below me, which was the same shit we were doing when we were in our 20s into our 30s about back pain, waking up, the jump from your teens to your 20s. And I'm just like, are you all okay? Because I'm not in that much pain. I'm not a particularly physically fit individual, and I'm doing okay. It's incidental. The knee. I wake up and I'm 30 and my knees pop. That stuff rubs me the wrong way. But I also stretch, which is lame, but highly effective. I don't stretch. A little bit before a walk. That's it. And I could call it yoga, but that's lame because that's what my parents did. So I stretch. Is it just because I'm sitting in an ergonomic chair? Is that why? Has this chair saved my life, dude? Did the Gen Z all get sold out to their Racer X sponsorships of the streamers that got famous that they grew up watching? Is it their fault? Because I'm sitting in a very adult ergonomic chair. Do you remember it was 2 months ago when I was hobbling everywhere? You come over and I was just limping and I was limping down the stairs and because I messed up my foot. I had duck feet. I've had every single child. I've carried a child. I've got you've webbed toes like this. My feet were like this because of long hours of holding a baby in the middle of the night. My body had settled in a way that wasn't healthy, and so I went to the doctor for insoles, and he's like, "No, you're too young for insoles. Just stretch." Okay. We're not going to counteract this with products. You just need to stretch out your body. And that wasn't an old thing. It was just I wasn't taking care of myself, but I didn't get it for free kind of thing. But I totally had that with Labubus. 6-year-old came home the other day and he was like, "Oh, dude, this kid was in the hall and they opened a golden Labubu. I want one. I want a blind pack." And I was just like, "Oh." Wait, this happened with Flynn? Yeah. Oh shit! He's got his first trend. He saw it happening around him, right, with the blind bag. His first trend, dude. And I could have taken that as an old moment. I almost did, but it was more just I didn't understand what that was. And I had to, because of my environment is not full of that naturally. The old part is I have to go and research something that is lame to me to understand. That's a good old part, though. You say old part, but you could easily rebrand that. That is a positive parenting moment. Exactly. The fact that you actually went and did any research. By the way, Jesse Cox has a wonderful video that will get you completely. But he also calls that video "I'm too old for this," right? Well, yes.
What he doesn't do is say this video will teach you everything you need to know about Labubu, because that's bad advertising on YouTube.
True. Yeah, you
but is what it is. It's well researched, has a good pace, and it will catch you up. Because Katie and I both were just like, these things are like kind of cute in an ugly way, which is a thing that we enjoy, but we have no idea what the hell they are. And so we watched Jesse's video and got completely caught up.
And to me, they're hideous. They are ugly as sin creations.
They are, but like in a way that I appreciate. Like I am a big fan of the so ugly it's cute. Right?
I don't like trolls. I don't like when faces.
I don't like trolls, but Labubus pretty much look like the creatures from Where the Wild Things Are, and I do really like that.
Yeah,
I do really like how those look.
I don't like when fur randomly gives way to skin.
So you don't like gremlins?
The gremlins,
because they have their ears have no fur on them, so they have fleshy ears that pop out of their furry heads.
I'm talking like a onesie kind of effect.
Their eyelids have no fur on them, so they have fleshy eyelids.
But you're describing like a ferret or Sonic the Hedgehog. He doesn't bother me.
No, ferrets have fur on their eyelids. Most animals do. It's very.
But like Sonic, Sonic, he goes from. I mean, granted, his eyes are like goggles, so he's not really very natural.
Well, those are his eyes. Those aren't his eyelids. Yeah. That's completely different. Nobody has hairy eyeballs. That's not a thing that exists in nature.
But like when the foot like completely it's this huge like tube of fur, and then it gives way to toes. It's just it's unnatural. It's disturbing.
I like it with gremlins, man. Dude, look up Gizmo. Because fleshy fingers, fleshy toes, fleshy eyelids, fleshy ears. Like, I love that shit. Looks great. Big fan.
Yeah, he doesn't quite have, like, the hoodie quality. But I do see what you mean.
It doesn't look like he's wearing, it doesn't look like he's wearing a Kigurumi or some shit.
But, his hands do just kind of come out of the fur in a unnatural way.
Yeah. So, Bigfoot or Sasquatch. Does Bigfoot, I guess, it depends on the interpretation. Because I've definitely seen, like, fully furry Bigfoot. That's very specifically Gremlins 2 Gizmo, which is my preferred Gizmo. We're splitting this house, much like the Act 2 of Expedition 33. We're splitting this house. Katie likes Gremlins 1 Gizmo. I'm a Gremlins 2 guy. Yeah. However, the fleshy toes, fingers, eyelids, mouth, and ears are consistent from 1 to 2. It's a core design feature of Gizmo.
Oh shit! What did I just delete? There we go.
What did you just delete?
Just another random file that a Control-Alt-Delete took care of.
Was it a load-bearing layer?
It was not a load-bearing layer. No, we are good.
That's what we need to know. But we're gonna open this. We're gonna open this kitchen up with. We're gonna take out this layer. Oh no, it was load-bearing.
I know a lot of all my gotcha trauma comes from Pokemon and my inability to get a Charizard, and that. Manifested into my belief that I wasn't a lucky child because I never got picked for Heads Up 7-Up. I never got raffles in school.
Okay, hold up. Let me do this. All right, I just made a break in the audio recording because that all kind of felt like pre-show, and now you're talking Pokemon.
Oh yeah, kind of transition.
I kind of want to just make this part of the show.
Okay.
So hello everybody to a conversation somewhat in progress. That will just be the beginning of the latest edition of the Grinding Gear podcast. Hello, we are back. Last week it was Roundtable. Hope you all enjoyed. It's me and Kyle.
Hi.
The boys, the men. The oscillating between I love being a denizen of the internet and please I just want to disappear into the wilderness for a few days.
Yeah. Get lost.
Human folk.
Get lost in the Crunchyroll. That's what I did this week.
Or like me, desire to get away from it all, but for some reason go to the biggest city on the planet in about a week. We're imminently away from going from my first ever major abroad trip. I'm going to Japan. Huzzah.
Change of location, right?
Change of location, exactly. I do love cities, though. I do not live in a city. I don't really consider any cities in Florida major, except for Miami, and I don't go there. So yeah, I'm gonna go get my city fix. I'm also spending some time out in the wilds. But we were talking about how your oldest just had his first gotcha experience because he saw someone pull a rare Labubu at school.
He
I
also
love this.
he also
And you
got
started
a blind bag of Minecraft characters for his birthday. And it was only one. It was like a random, it was one of those kind of Walgreens birthday gifts. You know what I mean? Extended family.
Yeah, they've got a big section of that at Target. Katie loves going because if they're in the bag, she likes fondling it because she can pretty much tell you exactly what's in it. And
sure.
I think she has I think right now she's got about like a 95% correct rate. She has
Wait, which one?
a lot of tiny pochitas as a result.
Okay.
From the blind bag Chainsaw Man ones. It depends. It depends. You gotta put them in hard plastic. That's why they do. Well, yeah. You know what? So gotcha in Japan is like
it's in an
could
orb.
do bags because it's already in a machine, so you have no choice of the one you pick.
Right.
The one you get is already randomized, but then it's also in a hard pod. So it's like you gotta not that we need more plastics in this damn world, but you need to put it in a hard object. Otherwise, you can just fondle it and figure out what the hell it is.
I mean, so the carrying case orb is pretty fun if you only have one or two, I'm sure. But at a certain point, it's like when you get anything that comes with a free carrying bag, and you're just like, this is crap. I do not require
I like a free carrying bag. I love a free carrying bag. Why are you coming at my totes?
Because I have a medicine bag for travel, and I don't need a small, thin bag with the two ropes coming out the top and connecting to the bottom for like my beard comb kind of thing. Like I don't need.
I like those for my deep, crappy 80s drawers that are in my main bathroom in my home because there's no organization in there. So I throw things that I will need infrequently in those, and then I store them in the deep, useless, stupid drawer. So I do have a use for those. And it's usually just full of like travel size stuff. So I rip into that if I know travel's coming up, and then I know what I need to pick up the next time I'm at the store. Hello, we're adults.
But yeah, so
you were about to talk about your gotcha trauma.
Yes.
Talk about your gotcha trauma.
I was just about to say my son got that. So he got the Minecraft gotcha bag. Only one. It was the rarest one in there. He got like a golden witch or something like that from Minecraft. And so he now believes he is the lucky child. He's got the power of luck on his side. And he saw in the hallway a Labubu being open and now wants to go for the rare one because the kids seemed really excited. It seemed like a very exciting thing to do. And I was...
Okay.
I had to not only do research on what Labubu was, but also take my own backseat to my own trauma, which was I'd never got a Charizard. And I farmed that EB Toys and what was the game store in the mall? It wasn't GameStop.
Babbage's or Electronics Boutique.
Electronics Boutique, yeah.
Well, you said EB Games, didn't you?
I said Toys. There's like EB Toys as well. They also
that
have
was
Pokemon
KB
cards.
Toys.
KB Toys.
KB
Yeah.
Toys.
So I combined the two. But, I had no concept that I could buy a Charizard flat out, and I now have too many Poliwhirls and crap like that. Like, just an absurd amount of the basic starter shit. And then it moved on. Like, the cards weren't... The power creep came with, like, even second edition. And so why should I? Why should I let anybody in my presence participate in this madness?
So that's it. Okay, this is interesting. I've got a couple. Let's explore our own childhoods before I talk about your child's childhood. I did the same thing, man. I was super into the Pokemon TCG. I got out like right before the Team Rocket set came out, which was pretty damn early.
Yeah,
but like I was in on it, and I was in on it hard. What kind of happened was we got a local like mom and pop card shop that had opened up in the mall, and that's was like my first experience to like you can buy singles because they had a glass counter with a bunch of rare cards underneath it, but they also had Japanese packs, and I thought that was the coolest shit on planet Earth. I want you again. Please understand, dear listener. I was like 10. I would wear a t-shirt that had like kanji on it because it looked cool. I had no idea what it said. That's where I was at mentally. That's where I was at mentally at the time. So I feel like I burnt myself out on the future sets even faster than the average bear, because then that just kind of became the thing I got gifted. Like it's like I feel like there were like 2 Christmases where like word got out to the fam, Garrett's in the Pokemon cards, and everyone just got me booster packs, and honestly, it ruled. However, point I'm trying to make, now I got distracted myself. I had the same experience. I never got a damn Charizard, and I still want one. Like I'm going the other way, man. Like I still I'm still a bit gotcha brained. I like a blind box. I like a card pack. Yeah, I'm not currently in on any sort of cardboard crack, but it's very easy to get me back into it.
It's fun
from the Magic the Gathering Final Fantasy set, which by the way they're putting out new shit for. They got like a new Chocobo box that's already sold out everywhere.
Yeah, do it.
Yeah,
I believe the kids are saying get that bag.
Up, by the way,
you want to get your bag?
A friend of the show is sending us some Commander decks. By the way,
oh, sick.
He apparently has some spares laying around of the Final Fantasy Commander decks, so we're getting the hookup because I never bought any of those, but yeah. You know what? I did crack a Charizard.
You bastard!
But it was a Japanese Team Rocket Charizard.
Those were and those had different stats. They had very different powers.
Yes, completely different card. Still worth a decent amount of money. Last time I checked, I need to find mine. It is in a hard sleeve, but it was not double sleeved, so who knows what condition it is in. It is of extreme, and I wouldn't sell it anyway. It's like that's the rarest thing I've ever opened. I'm not selling it. I don't really give a shit what the condition is. You know what? I should send it in to get graded, because then it'll be in one of those like cool grading frames. But like, it'd just be so funny if I got graded like really low.
Wait, what the hell?
You know, my idiot child ass, didn't preserve it properly.
Wait, what's going on?
I should do that. It's somewhere in here. Why? What's going on? What's up?
Do I have a first edition Dark Blastoise that's worth $1,000?
If it's first edition, that's probably worth an ass ton. So Dark, that's the Rocket set, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. No, some of those Rocket cards are worth a lot.
Interesting.
Yeah. You need to grind that bad, or you want to frame that sucker and put it in the studio?
I mean, he'd be in the binder behind me. I'm not going to dig for him right now. It's such a weird. To me, the value really comes from playing the game. Like that's what I love. And if I'm not going to get to play, I tend to be less invested in the activity. I love getting to play cards.
Yeah, I ebbed and flowed. I think I've told the story how I somehow, I don't even remember what I traded for it, but I did somehow trade my way into a Charizard, like the OG Charizard from the base game. And then suddenly out of nowhere, I was really into playing it. And so I was like, you know what? I'm not playing a fire deck. Hey, who wants this Charizard? Give me like your whole collection. And I just got this massive binder from a kid and gave him my Charizard. And I had a lot of fun playing the game. I don't even really regret it. Like, I'm like, whatever, it's fine.
That's what I did for my Blastoise.
Had a good time. Had a good time. So, yeah, okay. So maybe originally I headed it into this conversation being like, well, wait, I never pulled the Charizard either, and I don't hold it against it. But I guess, I don't know. Maybe I'll blame that Dark Charizard. Maybe that scratched the itch. And now I think about it, this is around the time I stopped collecting Pokemon cards.
I'll never be the very best. Oh, God. Yeah, if we were doing like some sort of full disclosure announcement at the top of today, I have a odd, lingering, unsolved issue with Pokemon. It was at the very heart of the bullying that happened in 7th grade, and it is still kind of just I don't know about that. I had to stand in my house with my rabbit ears out at a certain angle. It only worked when I was standing to get WB. And there was one magical day, there was like a storm outside, and I got WB, and there was a Pokemon marathon on. It was so amazing. But I never got to watch the show. And I freaking love that game. So there's a new one coming out in like 7 hours.
Something like that. Yeah, it's a happy ZA day, everybody. We're going to talk about that in a moment, and happy reminding everybody that you can support us on Patreon at supportourbromance.com or patreon.com/Garrett and Kyle. Head on over there. The Patreon-a-thon is has concluded, but that doesn't mean we're going to stop being like, hey, if you like what we're doing and you want to support us, the Patreon is the best place to do so. And you can get bonus content like the fully edited, including B-roll, that I had to comb through painstakingly and remove some of to get it past YouTube, even though it was not going to be a monetized video. Anyway, fully edited version of our Evangelion spoiler cast. I call it a rewatch because it was a rewatch for me, but I'm fairly certain I actually never finished the damn show because the ending did not ring any bells. You can hear that conversation right now. Go enjoy it. Whole thing is out for anybody that supports us. It's on a YouTube membership. It's on our Patreon. Go and enjoy. The Patreon version might have a little more B-roll.
might have a little more motion.
That was the original cut on Patreon because I didn't have to make any changes like I had to on YouTube.
We learned a lot about putting anime video in YouTube, and in particular, I learned this back when I made the Dawn Trail sound effect edit. But Evangelion is very, very high in the censors for getting caught. And any sort of visuals will get it flagged and completely blocked. Like not even like demonetized. Like, no, we don't want it in that country. Like full on, your video cannot be put live if it senses in motion Evangelion footage.
Yeah, it just won't let you put it out. It's not the end of the world. It's not like they're striking the channel or anything, because that can be extremely bad. If you get enough strikes, they will just delete your channel. It's just blocked, and it just doesn't let you put it out. So it was a bit tedious. I did find it fascinating because I like those kind of challenges. I'm like, ooh, but it did take longer than I wanted it to. I'm not going to lie with you. But did we learn anything? Because when I went researching, it was just like, oh yeah, this is very common if you make anime content, but it depends on the anime. Every anime is different. Some don't give a crap. Others don't want you showing anything at all. So I'm not sure I did learn anything, Kyle, other than if we make any additional anime content, we should leave ourselves at least 2 days for YouTube checks.
Yes. Yeah. Luckily, we can upload test footages and see if it gets flagged without any sort of dings against it. It set me on a little bit of I've been on a little bit of a mind roller coaster this week because of it. Because then Sora 2, the AI platform, they're getting sued by Pokemon because you're able to generate Pokemon in their system. And obviously that means that AI art program digested official Pokemon footage. I was also at Sam's Club with my kids and we bought a Pokemon puzzle, and the bottom right corner of the actual out of the box puzzle is dominated by legal information. And so when we go to build the puzzle, like we start busting out Blastoise, we start busting out Pokemon, got to catch them all on the top. But the bottom right corner was the easiest to do because it was a full paragraph of legal information on the damn kids puzzle. And so I'm all over the place because it's like, maybe Pokemon's going to save us from AI art. It won't that way. Hang on, though. Can I not enjoy a puzzle without being reminded of this existence? And today, there's the leaks going on about Nintendo and all that, and they're going around and they're, striking a bunch of channels that are showing those images. So obviously, they have contacted YouTube and been like, if this image shows up anywhere on screen, it doesn't have to be full screen. It could be small. It could be behind other things. It can begin to just like, if it senses the general shape of these things, you can get flagged. And then last week, there was the story from Moist Critical with the Viral DRM, which is a contractor that handles digital rights management. He got a note that he was going to be sued because he showed during Hurricane Milton footage of Brad Arnold and Ryan Hall on his channel. And they were saying that their footage of the Milton storm was copyright protected. And because he showed it on their stream, he was going to be sued. Now that's been dropped now because this company, this digital rights manager that is in charge of Reed Timmer and all these kind of storm chasers, they contacted, was like, whoa, back off. This isn't important to me. But just like we saw with the with like the Dawn Trail music, when a company becomes in charge of a digital property, sometimes they're exhibiting way more pressure than the actual company ever wants. So that story got a lot of coverage in combination with the Sora business going on, because suddenly all Pokemon creators and everyone on the internet was going, what happens if I show a Pikachu at all? Like, if you can sense an image of Pikachu, what if like the news flies over my house and I'm having a kid's birthday party in the back and I'm blasting Gotta Catch 'Em All, and that audio ends up inside the news copter? Do I get sued for having a Pikachu that's being hit as a kid's?
Kyle, that is the most ridiculous thing I've ever heard in my life. Do you know how loud a helicopter is? There's no way it would pick up that music.
But the more realistic issue of it was that, are we now entering a world where a Pikachu on screen could cause sensors to go off?
But potentially. Yeah, it's always been a gray area legally. Like I've always wondered if that would ever begin to happen. The argument content creators would make is that it's all free advertising at the end of the day. That's the argument in favor of folks like us that are
sitting around talking about your product, putting images,
being
up
dorks
of
on the internet. Yeah. But it's a freaking gray area, man. Like I've always like one of my favorite things to consume on YouTube as a platform is movie reviews, and I think they're 100% elevated when you include footage from the movie that you're talking about. But if a studio wanted to come at you, they could. It is their intellectual property.
Yeah,
they are allowed to. I don't think they should, but in our legal landscape, they are more than in the right to if they want to. No, it's like it's like Artist Alley at cons, man. Like fan art and merch that involves fan art. It's all a frightful legal stew.
Yeah, and in person with a print, it feels so much more different than, of course, what you see on Amazon, which is somebody just posting the old JPEG on a metal sheet of metal.
Yeah.
Worked myself in the corner with that one.
To put a cap on the Patreon mention, thank you for the support, everybody. Go support our bromance.com to help. Kyle will buy more puzzles, and I will buy more nonsense in Japan. Let me just just putting in a break. It's freaking weird now, my dude. But like, I don't know. It's always been that way. So I didn't talk about this. I don't think any. I may have made light mention to it. Katie and I went to a horror convention 2 weeks ago. Like 10 months ago, I surprised her. I bought her a photo op with her favorite wrestler, Sting. It was at a horror convention in Tampa. That was finally last weekend. We went, got a photo with Sting. But we're there. We're at a con, so we walked around. We were really just there just to meet Sting, get a hi, how you doing? Thank you for being an awesome wrestler, and take a photo. But so we walked around, and we had been to it before, and so I was like, I don't even really need to walk around. I was like, not even really kind of feeling it, but we ended up walking the floor anyway. Dude, every single booth that involved art made by an artist, like every single one had signs up that said 0 AI, like all original art by the artist, meet the artist,
sure.
AI free merchandise. Like, just wild that's a thing now to me. I'm already like, I already feel like I am post AI. I'm just like, it's a thing, it's out there. I try to be vigilant of it, but I'm no longer like constantly just like reeling from its existence on a daily basis. But I was just like, God, the fact that this is now an advertising or like a thing worth bringing up is it's dystopic to me. As someone who enjoys art and artists, and I love I don't know, cons were like felt like a refuge for me, and then I'm at a con and I'm reminded of it, and it's just like, ugh,
I think it's
icky.
It's important to remember we're in the middle of it right now, and it is very much the cool kids club. But like we were talking, like what brand of shoes are you wearing? Cool kids. Like these are the rich kids that we are currently combating in this space, and it's making things very unnerving, much like it was as a kid. You know, seeing rolling up with the Jinko jeans, right? And you're like, why? What is going on? And you're like, can I have those? And they're like, yeah, they're like $300. I don't remember how much they actually cost.
They were not $300.
But I didn't have any. I remember I went and looked at them. My mom was like, those are pricey. And I was like, yeah, I think they're silly too. And I didn't want to put effort into being a part of that crowd.
I had a pair of Jinko shorts that it was like the shorts I lived in, but we found them at an outlet.
So we're seeing like, and all that conversation is happening in real time, and it's making it, constantly reminding us. We keep thinking about it. We're trying to fathom how it's going to influence things. I saw a quote in our Discord today that was a quote someone saw on the social media, so I can't credit anybody because I don't remember who said it in Discord. I don't remember who said it on most social media, but it was a good thought. Essentially, that AI art will never replace real art because you can't seduce somebody by giving them a prompt. Hey, baby, I wrote you this prompt.
I mean, I don't know. Like, if two lowbrow people fall in love, like, and I'm sure somebody courted somebody with a Minion meme, Kyle. Somebody got sent a Minion meme with a heart and went, aw. Do I want to have a prolonged conversation with those people? Do I think it would be stimulating talk? No, I mean, but whatever. Let them do their thing.
Yeah, we start. It's sending memes is an important part of the courtship activity, and I have no doubt that AI imagery has been used in courtship as well. I remember I was saying, "Would you like coffee?" to my wife. She was upstairs. It was a sleeping day, so I used the Google Gemini in this case months ago, and I said, make a ancient tomb with a mummy making espresso, and the espresso grinder was in his groin, and it looked like he was grinding straight out of his groin the coffee beans. And if that's not courtship, I don't know what is. That was hot as shit.
Behold the beans of my loin. Wonderful. So absolutely, absolutely wonderful.
I have no doubt about that. But let's go ahead and jump to actually a future topic before we get back to Pokemon, because it is kind of tied into, and then we could just forget about AI for the rest of the show.
Okay, wonderful. I love that. I love that. Let's forget about AI. Sounds great.
Right.
Let's go.
Stormgate is not a commercial success, says the creator.
I don't have a polite response to this.
I know this is mind blowing. I know this.
That's it. That's what I'm trying to avoid, because I'm not rooting for it, but like I'm not like. I don't know. Maybe that's probably why I'm not clipped and shared on social media with any regularity. But like but it's not surprising. But I'm not happy about that. I would like a new RTS to succeed.
Right.
There's a bigger conversation, by the way, right now. There's a bigger conversation we could have about this, dude. And the whole conversation just kind of makes me sad because I don't want to see work from people that I have previously enjoyed the work of fail. But the bigger conversation in my head is just like all of the new stuff from the next evolution of Blizzard Entertainment, it's not hitting. Like, we have multiple Dreamhaven products out that are not lighting the world on fire. We have multiple entries from fragmented groups of ex-StarCraft developers that are not hitting. Like, it's kind of wild. It's like, I remember being I've already personally just kind of felt done with RTS, so I wasn't really keeping up with Stormgate or the other one that already folded. The one that David Kim was behind.
Kim's, yeah.
Yeah.
Which was cute. It was essentially a Marine King style Bunker Wars mod.
Yeah. That one, I thought was a really strong concept, like just trying to like kind of distill RTS down to its bare essentials, and also just in general reduce the overall time of an individual match. Because at least that's part of my aversion to RTSs now in my adult life. It's similar to we were talking yesterday on stream how I'm like, I have nothing against fighting games. I just know how much work it takes to be good at them. And so that's why I don't engage with them. And I feel very much the same way about RTSs. Like I've been there, I've done that. I know how much work it takes. And I would just rather either have multiple experiences in gaming or spend that time elsewhere with how much time it would take to be mid at an RTS.
This is where, to our pre-show discussion, this is a young kid's game to me. Like,
yeah.
And to me, the desire to come home and prove myself over a bunch of random people has greatly decreased over the years as I have gained more responsibilities and am in charge of small lives. I get that joy of like asserting dominance elsewhere. I don't need to destroy something with Ultralisks as frequently as it would take for me to maintain those skills.
Yeah.
But I wanted Stormgate. I did, like in my heart, like the idea of a created by Tim Morton, Warcraft 3 devs, StarCraft devs, making a new campaign where I could play a story mode, get upgrades between levels, maintain some of that power from level to level, and just enjoy controlling the units. Sounded really, really fun. And this week, Tim Morton did a big LinkedIn post that was basically what went wrong. And it's got a little, it's not terribly corporate-y, but it's in the positive, certainly. Mm-hmm. It's discussing the early access being undercooked and how the aspects of it leading into early access didn't put the best foot forward. They launched with too many modes available. They're saying they should have just gone and just put out 1v1 first and let that cook, and then later added a campaign. They tried to come back in and like redo the campaign, revoice act the campaign. They got some popular stars to come in and do voices of the hero units they were adding, very much like a co-op commander kind of thing from StarCraft. But it simply never manifested in height beyond the initial moment, which was the funding. You know, when this originally went up, video games during 2002, everyone's at home, everyone's looking for something to do. They got $40 million just poured on top of them in venture capital very, very quickly. COVID
was a wild time for games funding, and part of what we're seeing now, there's still plenty of corporate greed involved, but part of what we're seeing now is a result of that, one might say, overspending during the 2020 to 2022 period.
And in that way, like they received this huge amount of seed funding. However, being former multi-year Blizzard leaders, they also expected certain paychecks. They had a very large team for what they were doing, and they went through that money a little too fast. So they went to Kickstarter. That's where it got muddied because the promises that they made on early access and Kickstarter didn't align. So people feel like they were getting cheated, in addition to knowing that there was this venture capital involved that funded the initial seed. So why are you being cheap? It's kind of that, like, I know it, like, for me, I'm like, I just want to be cool. I want to be cool like Silksong and just give away my game because you signed up for it 10 years ago. Like, let's all just be awesome. But that's not the reality when you have to, pay people and produce paychecks for a team.
It's all a difference too of team size. I mean, Silksong's a very small crew. Hollow Knight was a very small crew. They kept it small. They took their sweet time developing it, and Silksong is a follow-up. It's not a first. It's not a new IP to market, even though this is, in a way, I mean, this is a spiritual successor to StarCraft from developers that worked on previous StarCrafts.
And there's so many interesting conversations being had about this. Let's get the AI part out of the way, which is essentially, there's a quote from here: access to capital is significantly more constrained today. Team size would have to stay tiny much longer. More labor would have been sought from outside North America. More use of AI would have been considered. So essentially what we're seeing with a lot of these startups is they're now going from their COVID funding times back to these companies and saying, hey, can I have more money? And they're like, oh, no, we love AI right now. And we're dumping it into AI. Then the company's kind of saying, does your game have AI in it? Because that could, match our desires to dump money on projects. And in this case, Stormgate did not embrace that because it didn't exist in 2022 or whatnot.
That's what we're seeing even when it doesn't involve external funds. You're seeing it within studios that are owned by the conglomerate known as Microsoft. They're citing saving money through new AI initiatives as being partially responsible for a lot of these massive rounds of layoffs that we are seeing. So it's just bonkers. And I didn't even know we were like heading towards this conversation, but I was doing a little bit of reading over the weekend, and like I forget the exact figure, so I don't have it in front of me, so I'm not going to quote it. But there's the amount of money like tied up in the stock market right now in AI is like exponentially, multiplicatively larger than the .com bubble, which is kind of terrifying to think about. It's anyway, I'm more interested and more qualified to have the discussion of like why the hell are these post Blizzard Entertainment projects not hitting?
And a lot of it,
how much is it? RTS as a genre is just not as big as it is, which I think is true. How much of it is the landscape for games development has changed to a certain degree, or maybe you shouldn't expect to be able to sustain a team size that you were used to when you were working at Blizzard Entertainment. Even in chat, I'm seeing people being like, why don't stay in California? It's expensive. All of these things we could potentially levy at it. It's probably, as things are so frequently, an amalgamation of all of these factors coming together. And and also thank you, chat. The Greg Street, the Ghost Crawler MMO, is in, it seems, dire straits as of this week. Did you see that news?
No, I didn't.
Okay, NetEase pulled out. They're gone.
Oh wow.
They're done. Yeah. So it's sounding over for that MMO endeavor.
And I think that's an important aspect of this venture capital that's going on, right? Like forever ago, because it actually was, 10 plus years ago, we interviewed people from MLG. And one of the things they told us was Coca-Cola has so much damn money. They don't know how to spend it. They have no idea how to spend it. So you go to them and you say, hey, I've got 25-year-olds watching. Does that sound cool? And they say, oh my God, yes, we don't know how to spend our money. And then
that absolutely happens. Yes.
You have Coke ads on MLG, and you're like, how did MLG, like a weird gaming convention, how'd they get Coke ads? It's like, well, because they don't know.
I do want to step in and say it was clearly Diet Dr. Pepper, because that's the only thing I survived off of when I was at MLG.
500% it was Diet Dr. Pepper for some reason. But
it's why I like Diet Dr. Pepper, because it's I spent what little money I had to get to MLG.
It's actually
I was surviving off of free Dr. Pepper.
The lime meme I used to seduce my wife in 2009 or whatever. Like, it just they just don't know how to hold all this money. And
how many people like court people with memes?
I think a lot of people do. I think this is
probably it's probably a lot now. It's probably
it's a way to make a connection. Like
make a mixtape, link them to a Spotify playlist. How do you do this now?
I'm thinking about how are you. I don't really have anything to say right now, but here's a meme I thought you'd find funny because I want to start up a conversation. I don't know how, so here's my funny memes. So essentially,
Katie and I wore the same band T-shirt to graphic design class.
Sure, more natural things like that can happen. In the past, now digital era and all that. Anyway,
get with the times. Garrett memes are love language. Okay, fine. So this is Haberdasher, if that is your real name.
So what's interesting about this, and why I want to counteract doom and gloom with knowledge, is this is a very telling moment where we're seeing that a movie is a gamble. I have $2 million. I want to turn into $4 million. What should I do? Make a horror movie. Okay. And so they do. They throw money at it and they hope they get a return, and they gamble that money. And now we're seeing that gamble move away from video gaming, when it was very, very available during that 2002 period. And a lot of these teams got their money assuming that should things ever be rough, that they could go back and get more money on the back of their names, their titles, their investments.
I'm tempted to launch into, there's even different types of gambles within movies, and horror movie is a very different type of gamble, but I do think it's actually kind of analogous to the games that are hitting this year. Horror movies are not nearly as scary. Didn't mean to do a punny there, but they're not as nearly as scary of a gamble in Hollywood because they are much less expensive to produce. They are much smaller scale, much more manageable, and they don't cost as much to make, so they don't need to make as much. Does that sound familiar to you, Kyle?
Well, I only said horror movies because I said $2 million, and I was trying to think of a movie that costs $200.
That would even be low for a horror movie these days.
So I was hoping I'd get points on that front, but I was talking to a horror movie buff, and I walked into the wrong...
Well, I think you accidentally came up with a good analogy, man, because
sick.
Horror movies are working for Hollywood. They've always kind of worked. I've always been a big proponent of, for the love of God, let's give horror movies a little more respect, but they've always kind of worked. They're really doing well right now because we're having this kind of recoil from the $400 million superhero movie. It's not sustainable because not enough people are a little over MCU. I don't think it's completely dead. I'm not here to tell you that this is not a take. I still have my Marvel movies that I enjoy. I really enjoyed that last Superman movie. That was a good time. But that movie actually was way lower budget than a lot of more recent superhero movies. But horror movies, they don't cost that much to make, so there's not as much pressure on them to make $1 billion. A horror movie does not need to make $1 billion to be profitable, but your garden variety MCU movie does. And that's true of big budget video games as well. The more you spend on the game, the more that game has to succeed to facilitate its own existence. And unfortunately also the jobs of those that made it. And so this year, dude, like the games you and I keep come back to, the games we've been playing the living crap out of that aren't MMOs, the games that are succeeding and making headlines for the most part, the big story of the year are smaller games made by smaller groups of people, in some cases even solo devs. I mean, that was also that was a big story last year too, with things like Balacha, because that was made by one dude.
Well, and then you have like Claire Obscure team coming out this week and being like, hey, we're working on the next game, we're staying small. And that forcible small atmosphere they're maintaining in order to succeed. And of course, Silk Song and all that with the 3 devs who took as long as they wanted to because they had the cash flow to sustain it.
Yes, yeah. And Expedition 33 is a great example because it feels nearly AAA. Honestly, I would say it's a AAA game if it wasn't for the lip syncing, not being 100% dialed in.
But even that, they're aware of it.
The only thing.
It reminds me of old sci-fi. They're aware of it. They're shooting it accurately. They're using night for their scenes when they should to make sure that you're not looking at the faces for too long. They're changing the cameras up.
No, it feels like a AAA game. And they're unique in the space. They're not a solo dev. There's not just like even though that story went around, there's not just 33 people working on it, but their core team is around that size, and it is small, and it looks like they're going to try and keep it around that way. But then they went and they outsourced quite a bit. The credits on that game are quite long, but that is one strategy. There's not going to be. There's no perfect formula. That's why some games are successful and they're made by one person, and some games are successful that are made by hundreds of people and plenty of team sizes in between. But it's interesting. You tripped over that horror movie analogy, and you got my brain.
Then you got caught in that. This is a really interesting, because this is a product I wanted to succeed, but every time I looked at it, Stormgate, I was bored to tears. And one of the main issues, honestly, being, as much as I'd love to be the perfect indie consumer, something they say here in their list. Capital sources have also changed. VC funding for new games operates on a smaller scale. Publishing partners will be necessary for many new games, with all the constraints on independence implied. Given the unprecedented market oversaturation, licensed creative IPs would have been considered. Essentially, people didn't want an RTS; they wanted StarCraft.
Yeah, and that was my reaction again. Like, not to be rude, not to be like I was right. Like, again, I'm just, this kind of news bums me out. But my cold reaction was just like, this just looks like StarCraft in all but name, and I would rather it just be StarCraft. I think the design language is stronger. The story of the universe is established and something I am already bought into. There's just for me personally, there was a lot of stuff stacked up against it. On top of the fact that I am just not personally interested in an RTS, and I'm sure I'm not alone, but I'm sure there were a ton of people like you who were like, hell yeah, give me a new RTS.
Which is a big ask, because I want a campaign. I want that campaign to be long enough that I amass the skills in order to enjoy your multiplayer. I want an online map maker so everyone can adjust your game at a greater speed so you can react to it. I want constant updates into the future, balance updates, content updates, everything to keep that game alive. And it's a huge ask without that IP. And it's got to be hard. It's got to be hard thinking of your gun-toting, power armor wielding basic unit, and you go, okay, it can't be a Space Marine from Warhammer, and
it can't be a Space Marine from StarCraft.
Can't be a Space Marine from StarCraft. And Helldivers is kind of in my head too, so I want to be unique in that front.
Well, and Helldivers is already copping it from Starship Troopers.
It's Starship Troopers, exactly. Right? Like what? So how do you even get what you want out of there? And that's just the truth of it. Like, you can't. It's too big of an ask.
Yeah, it's tough. You gotta find some way to be unique, to be fresh. It's what you and I keep talking about with Expedition 33. Is just like, God, I've just never really experienced anything like this. The way it looks, the way the world is built and fits together. The way the story is told and the momentum that it carries, like it feels wholly unique while still being very familiar if you grew up playing RPGs. It kind of had all that secret sauce, and it's just like, I don't know, you got to find a way to be unique while still kind of speaking the language of the genre fans. And to me, it's a nigh impossible tightrope walk. That's true of pretty much any game, and that's why I always come back to it. Is truly amazing that any game actually gets made, actually gets out, and gets into the hands of anyone.
Right. The combination of that many workers creating something is absolutely insane.
Yeah. I feel the same way about film.
Another thing they brought up that was really interesting in their post was they're going to keep trying. They know the chips are all stacked against them, but they're going to try. However, they say No Man's Sky and Cyberpunk are effectively unicorns in terms of recovery, which is interesting because I did have patience for Cyberpunk. It came out, it was undercooked.
I would argue that patience was earned from the previous entries from CD Projekt Red.
Right.
If you hadn't played Witcher 3, if Cyberpunk was your first experience with a game from that studio, you probably wouldn't have had that patience.
Yeah, did I really want Cyberpunk? I liked the source material as well because I knew the pen and paper game. So that did do some heavy lifting in the background there, but obviously, the CD Projekt Red did the majority of that. No Man's Sky is an interesting one that I can't speak to because I've seen it. I just have no desire to play it. That's just a personal.
I spent like a whole weekend playing it when it came out. Really enjoyed my time. Got kind of bored, wandered off. I hear it's great now. I haven't had a strong desire to return, but yeah, I have my own one of those. Battlefront 2, the second Battlefront 2, because numbering is stupid. Battlefront 2 was an absolute failure, a greedy failure at launch. It was so microtransaction to hell and back that they alienated their entire audience from a Star Wars game, which is a large audience. And they eventually made good on it. It's not quite the same because it's not like the game was broken. It's that the monetization that was baked into it was legitimately, beyond the shadow of a doubt, predatory. And so that was like a moral victory, not a mechanical one.
Yeah, that they were willing to change.
Yeah, but they made a really banger game. And then they went on to support it for years. And I love that game. They did a great job with it. They eventually made the right call, eventually probably won some, I have to imagine, not particularly fun arguments against EA brass. But, however it ended up shaking out, they ended up with a good product. So, yeah, I mean, it is the exception to the rule, but the exception to the rule is also successful video games from the jump. I mean, just think of how much stuff releases on Steam every damn day. A lot of it is crap, slop shovelware, but there's also plenty of earnest attempts at a creative product, and they just don't hit. Like, how many platformers were made for every Hollow Knight success? It's tough.
Well, and who the hell is Dad? Vendinad?
Are you okay? Should I call an ambulance?
Who the hell is that? That's the developer and publisher of Megabonk.
Oh.
They've done one thing. Their entire name is lowercase.
Gotcha. I can't help you with that. I don't know. You're going down a path I cannot follow because I don't know the name of who made Megabonk.
No, that was the name as best I can say it. And
wonderful.
And they managed to, break into the news and getting all our eyeballs.
Yeah. Well, speaking of the news, even though we're kind of talking about it, but an RTS not hitting, I would callously say is not news. Let's get into this week's news.
Good. Oh, great news, everyone. Shove it.
Happy new Pokemon Day, everybody.
Happy new Pokemon
Legends Z to A is releasing in mere hours from the time that we are recording this. It is currently rocking a handsome 81 on Metacritic, which is just kind of what Pokemon games score for, more or less. I haven't really looked at the full suite of Pokemon games on Metacritic until today, as a matter of fact. And they're all in that like 80 cluster.
Is that like...
for the most part.
I feel like someone's going to get hurt. Is this okay? Like, don't Pokemon fans go crazy if they don't get 100? Are they used to this? What's going on?
Pokemon fans are very used to this.
Okay. So this is where a Pokemon normally...
The games are made on a really strict schedule, and they're, B- quality.
So this is perfectly fine. An 80 on Metacritic, just par for the course.
I think so. Yeah. I mean, and people really liked Arceus, even though, like, I don't like looking at it. But it got a lot of compliments for shaking up the formula. And I believe this is only the second Legends game, so should be heading in more in that direction. This is more positive reception than it has been in the past few years. Yeah, again, there a lot of the more recent stuff. I mean, it felt like the last release kind of garnered the most. Like, okay, come on, can we get something of a little higher quality? That was definitely my feeling because I wasn't really paying attention. I remember Arceus coming out, people saying it was good, and I looked at it, I was like, my God, this thing is like hideous. But it was the next main line after that really had people kind of freaking out. I think this game looks fine. It's everything else I played on the Switch 2 is prettier, but it's not. I don't find it offensive to gaze upon the way I did Arceus. What?
I'm just reading through some of these critic reviews. This is from Game Reactor UK. I will not explain away or excuse Game Freak's bizarre way of constructing their games, nor will I claim that it makes sense for any AAA title to be so incredibly stingy with rudimentary details such as 3D models of balconies in a city inspired by Paris or voice acting. But at the same time, this is a fundamental game that is once again about collecting, developing, and battling Pokemon. That is what you do most, and that's what works best.
Yeah, okay. So it is scoring about 10 points on average higher than the Scarlet Violet, which was the last mainline release. There was a lot of discourse around that time. So this appears to be heading in a more positive direction.
Like IGN.
I've had a weird year with Pokemon. I've not had everyone else's year with Pokemon.
What would everyone
my
else's
first
year be?
New Pokemon in forever, and it was Pokemon Soul Silver, which is considered by many to be the greatest Pokemon game ever made. And I think I might agree with them, fully admitting that I haven't played that many Pokemon games past the original set.
It certainly is a type of game that doesn't get serviced well in other places, nor now is allowed to be serviced in other places. So you do keep coming back to them for more.
Life finds a way. Pal World is a thing. It doesn't play like a traditional Pokemon game, but it certainly scratches the itch for some folk. I was surprised how much fun I had with Pal World, but it's not really what I want from a more online Pokemon game.
Summoner,
but hey, maybe I will get a more online Pokemon game if the new leaks today are to be believed. Be careful what you show, please.
No, this is just these are just the starter Pokemon of Legends. Don't worry, I'm not showing a picture of Pikachu. You know, the news copter will find me.
Yeah.
I was kind of curious to see that they're going back to some old favorites, and then I guess whatever T-Pig is, he's sitting in the fire slot.
Yeah, Totodile and Chikorita are from Silver and Gold.
Yeah, they've been around for a long time.
I'm not familiar with the pig Pokemon.
The T-Pig. But don't worry.
I rocked Totodile in my Soul Silver play.
Oh,
good starter. Enjoy it. And now we're watching Moist Critical.
I have no idea why. That
you gonna Rickroll us, Kyle?
I guess I hit the back button and it went back in time to something I was watching long ago. Hey, let me refine that.
All good. Anyways, yeah, I was surprised to see that there were just so many Pokemon games kind of nestled in this area. Also, Soul Silver and Heart Gold deserve better. Critics, how dare they be nestled in that?
I think I
mid 80.
I think I'd go with Chikorita just so I end up with a dinosaur when it's all over rather than a dude.
Apparently, a very unpopular Pokemon. I don't mind it. I like the final evolution of Chikorita.
That's just a Brontosaurus. There's nothing wrong with that guy.
Yes, and it also just has that classic Pokemon look that I enjoy.
The eyes and all that going on. I mean, Totodile's pretty sick from beginning to end. Like, you know, we all have our awkward teen phase. I'd say there are a few middle Pokemon I like. I guess I like Ivysaur more than Venusaur.
Oh, I don't know, man. I love Venusaur's just fat frog ass.
Venusaur with the chonky boy spots on him.
He's just so like blubbery. Like, I love him.
He's too inconvenient, you know? Like you can't housebreak him.
I don't mind Charmeleon. It doesn't hold a candle to Charizard, but I like I actively dislike Wartortle. I don't like the design of Wartortle.
The Charmeleon nub is dumb.
Oh, I think it's fine. It's fine. Doesn't really make him look like a carnivore, which I think he should look like, but it's fine. It's a Pokemon. And doesn't have to be biologically accurate.
The weird thing about Wartortle is the vestigial ears that somehow fall off in the in-between.
There's probably some lore somewhere about how there are two shells that Wartortle finds in the ocean and adorns his head with.
Maybe, you know, awkward teen phase, yeah, and just make sure he decorates himself a little bit.
When he becomes Blastoise, they just pop off. Is it bad that you named your T-Pig Bacon? No, I bet you're not alone.
No, that actually sounds like something that could happen quite commonly.
That sounds I think I had a Pidgey named Nugget at one point.
One of my favorite bits of Pokemon content ever made was this Jim Bro who would make Is Ash Ripped content. And he would find scenes from the Pokemon show with Ash
Oh,
like
just doing
shouldering
amazing feats of strength.
Yeah. Like hugging a 120-pound Pokemon or supporting a Pidgeotto on a single arm.
Yeah. Yeah. I like that. I like secretly ripped characters. Big fan of that. It's Steve Carell is one of those. One of my favorites. Steve Carell is weirdly ripped for a dude who usually plays dweebs. Anyways, he's a real person though, not a character. What do you make of the leaks, dude? You pulled over our load up to this podcast before we even went live, and you're like, hold on, I need to read up about these leaks. This is like breaking news. What's going on with these leaks?
I actually don't know still. I was just trying to fathom what if it was all related to this release, and it's not. So I'm perfect.
No, it's supposedly like the next like 5-ish year plan.
Yeah, something going on with
claims to know the title of the next games. I'm not going to bother mentioning that. The thing that made me perk up when I was reading through it was like it'll have a more like it said MMO style lobby where you like a place in the game you can go and you can see other players. I would call that more a Guild Wars or a Monster Hunter like personally. Because most MMOs, you can see people anywhere, not just in one location.
That's what it comes down to, right? I would say Monster Hunter, like, just because my trust in them making something fluid and usable would be in about that department.
Yeah.
You got to send over your friend code and go in the lobby.
Dude, I mean, spending time with the Switch too, like Nintendo's got a lot better with that. Nintendo hardware's got a lot better with that. The new Mario Kart World is a really pleasant online experience. Not to say much about the controversy about them like screwing up like track playlists and all that kind of stuff. I'm specifically just talking about the basic mechanics of connecting to other players and starting lobbies. That stuff is really painless in a way that we talked about this months ago. There's no point in getting back into it.
Oh, okay.
They nerfed everyone's favorite way to play because it's Nintendo, and of course they did.
Oh, right. Oh, okay. I thought you were talking about like music for some reason, tracks, like as in musical tracks.
Oh, no. I was just thinking of like the mix of tracks that you can
lining
play
it up.
Yeah,
I gotcha.
Yeah. Which reminds me, I still need to play a new Sonic racing game because everyone's just like, Garrett, it's really good. You should just stop being a hater and actually try it and make your own opinion. And you know what? Those people are right. I need to play the Sonic racing game.
I've watched some footage of it. It looks fun, particularly.
It does look fun. It does look fun.
Did you play Ratchet and Clank?
A little bit. I'm not really a Ratchet and Clank fan.
Okay, but the seamless loading, essentially solid state hard drive.
Oh, you're talking about the most very recent one.
Yeah.
I watched my brother play it because I was really interested in the seamless loading, and it was sick.
It was really cute, and that's basically what the new Sonic racing game has. And that mix and match of a track is replayable.
Yeah. So sorry, I'm getting lost in the chat room right now. They're lost in Mega intricacies. We're not talking about Mega. Why are we talking about Mega?
We talked about Mega last week, and if you can breed them during their brief Mega state, it's fine. Oh, that was 2 weeks ago, but you can go find that podcast. Very important.
Oh, gotcha. They have not had it explained. I have played a game with Mega. Kyle doesn't understand it. I understand it.
No, it's a brief power up window. I don't think it's a very complex.
Oh my god, we finally got there. Okay.
Yeah, I don't think it's a very complex idea.
The last time I was trying to explain it to you was it took about 30 minutes before I felt like I got anywhere.
Oh no, I was just having more fun with the idea of could you breed them during the brief window that they are mega and create mega babies? Because the concept of having a brief window of power up is, not terribly unique.
That's how. That's actually how breeding works for most biological things. There's a brief window with which you are capable of performing the act.
Yes, but you're normally not in your mega form for that. So I'm saying,
it sounds like you should have a higher opinion of yourself in certain aspects of your life.
Well, I'm just saying that the duck, we don't need to rehash this. The duck doesn't turn into a crane when it gets excited and create a more intricate window. Just get Ditto involved. It's fine.
Wow. Anyways, Happy Legends EA release day to everyone that hasn't immediately turned this off because their children were listening. We've got some Pokemon questions in our Q&A segment, so we will return to it at the end of the show. But for now, let's talk about how the latest rumor around the water cooler is that a new PlayStation and new Xbox consoles are aiming for 2027 release. This is insane to me if it's true.
That is the rumor going around, and the source is sourceful, but the websites covering it are many, and the story keeps getting a little muddled. Mostly, it comes down to everyone saying, "Do we need a new one? Has hardware advanced that far? I don't understand this." Mix that with the conversations on everything will be an Xbox.
Well, but some things will be more of an Xbox.
Well, everything is an Xbox, but some things are more Xbox.
My favorite thing to come out of gaming news from the last week was Microsoft basically threatening, "No, we're not done making Xboxes." It's just, you know, things are going great when you have to reassure people that, no, we're totally going to make another Xbox. We mean it. It's true, guys. Believe us. Why are you laughing?
Well, the first statement is about cloud gaming, in that the smart TV can become an Xbox.
I do not care
for Xbox Live.
We're never talking. They've been talking about cloud gaming for years. If you mention it, my ears turn off. I no longer care. Nobody cares. It's not a thing.
I just want to see it. Like it's not a complex thought. You don't need to explain cloud gaming to me. I just need to have a device in my hands that doesn't look like ass, and we're fine. There's no. I feel like cloud gaming is when they like the mega evolutions. Like you just keep coming and being like, "No, you don't understand." I'm like, I get it. It's not a complex concept. It's more interesting to me to see if we can make babies out of cloud gaming. And that's what this is. Then do it. You can't.
This is your most frustrating personality trait. I have to deal with so many corrections that neither of us need because you refuse to blatantly state that you understand something.
Okay. Well, I'm saying now that to the corporations, I understand cloud gaming. Please don't explain it again. Just do it if you want me to buy into it. It is not a magical process. It is a rather normal process. And I just...
previously, my response was make it good, make it seamless, make it accessible. It's now... If it's a thing that Microsoft is doing, accessibility is out the window. Their subscription is a ridiculous price.
I also kind of have just an old man factor to me. Like, I don't want to be holding a screen while hearing my PlayStation in the other room go burr. Like, it doesn't bring me joy to know two machines are working hard for my enjoyment. I want the one I'm holding to be working hard. And that's it.
I want the thing in my entertainment console to be working hard. I want the controller to just be a controller.
Yeah.
But unless I'm on a plane and I'm playing on my Switch 2 or you're playing on your Steam Deck. Anyway, so let's see. PS4 came out in 2013. PS5 came out in 2020. So that's 7 years. I guess that is 7 years. I guess that's 70. Man.
It's a long time.
Felt like it lasted longer.
Well, they weren't available for a bit, so the rollout...
Well, neither were PS5s.
Yeah, well, same with Nintendo Wii.
No new console is available for a bit, except an Xbox, apparently. But there were so many Switch 2s at Target over the weekend. Holy shit. That case was full. You want a Switch 2, you can get a Switch 2.
There was also, according to sources, the free Xbox tier coming and planned, where you have to watch about 2 minutes worth of ads before being allowed to play the game. Sessions are capped at an hour with a total of 5 free hours available per month.
My brother was talking to me about this. It is very rare that that someone in my family hits me with breaking game news. And I learned about this from my brother.
What did he think of it?
He thought, he was very frank. He thought it was bullshit.
Okay. Well, that's good. I mean, because I've been around.
Not bullshit in that it's fake. Bullshit in terms of an idea, and absolutely 100% sounds like something that Microsoft will be doing.
It's hard to imagine what a ad gameplay experience would look like, this sounds like maybe the best option, that you watch the ads first and then the time you have is capped, but that's still bizarre. I've hung out with, my 6-year-old has friends. They get together with their iPads, and some of them have ad games, and my kids don't. And it's funny how the blinders to the ads can just go up, whereas to my kids, an ad is this huge interruption and this, sudden invasion of their eyeballs. They can't find the X because they're not desensitized to it. And I'm very much the same way. I watch Hulu with ads when I'm going to watch Hulu.
Yeah, not to back in my day them, but they also have never known a world where there was no option but to watch the ad.
Yeah, so you'd go get some more cereal. Or maybe the ads were catered like a Saturday morning cartoon situation, but, nowadays it's all, medical ads in every space.
In the U.S. for sure. God, they haven't changed a bit, by the way. Every time I go to a hotel, I'm like, man, drug ads are exactly the same.
Oh, yeah, they're still smiling with that big bloom on them, and,
they're just widescrreen now. That's the only difference.
That, and we're all terribly smelly people. Apparently, we are all, the corporations believe us to be the most smelly beings that have ever existed, and we really need to fix that.
One of the biggest tips I have gotten for going to Japan is make sure you bring enough deodorant, because the deodorant in Japan is not the strength level that we are used to in the US.
Oh, interesting. I guess.
And it's just like, if you think you smell when you sweat, bring your own deodorant with you.
The aluminums or whatever are at a grade that are your body
we don't need to go
adjusted
down that. I've been trying very hard to be aluminum free. It's actually way more work and money than I want it to be to stay aluminum free on my deodorant. But anyway, we don't need to get into that. We've had enough adult conversations today.
Yes, but this it's again, I feel like it's important to say it's so easy to doom and gloom on this. This is the current battlefield, and it's why we're seeing the games succeed that are succeeding this year.
Is because new consoles are coming out in 2 years?
No, because the corporations are all making ad-based cloud gaming that isn't working, and so we go buy our game for $10 and we play Mega Bonk all weekend.
Yeah. Again, I come back to the word dystopic. It just feels like cool, I guess, like gaming more accessible. It should be a good thing, but it's like, why are we should ask for better. It's okay to ask for a better experience for a fair price. Like, this is not the answer. Like, they raised the price of Game Pass. That was their decision. This is not suddenly a problem that is the fault of gamers. It's the fault of the Microsoft Corporation. They set the prices, and they decided to change the price of Game Pass. They kept it at a reasonable price for so long that it is just so difficult not to look at this as anything other than a cash grab. And now for them to be like, they invented their own problem. They made their own product worse so that they can then also offer a cheaper or free version of their product that's even worse than paying more for the ad-free version. It's nonsense. It is a nightmare. I have canceled my Game Pass. I purchased the copy of Expedition 33. I got my save. I'm out. This is exhausting. I don't think it is selfish to ask for a slightly better user experience in this way.
Let's talk about what we've been playing.
You don't want to talk about the Demon Slayer thing? I couldn't.
We can.
I put it in the thumbnail. You have to talk about it. You have to talk about it. So Demon Slayer, Infinity Castle, apparently made more money than the Superman movie.
600 million worldwide at box office. Yeah. By
That's
the way,
impressive.
It's a sick chapter. Like, it's a long time coming, but Infinity Castle is a sick chapter. So I have no doubt that it's freaking rocking. But yeah, that's caused quite a bit of fear, which has happened before. In fact, I remember Billy West being really big against celebrity casting back in the Futurama heyday. This has caused a huge fear that all the voice actors are going to be replaced by stars. You know, here comes Chris Pratt voicing Tetsuo or whoever you want to say, because Hollywood's going to catch on to anime being profitable all of a sudden.
Okay, but famous people have done anime voices before.
And
when I first got into anime with Ghibli movies, a lot of those are famous actors.
Liam Neeson was Poyo, right? Or Ponyo's dad.
Yeah, Mononoke is full of a bunch of famous actors. And actually, a bunch of now famous actors did a bunch of anime voice acting before they were famous. Bryan Cranston was in a bunch of anime before he was a household name.
And then you got Batman in the Howl's Moving Castle and all that. I mean, Ghibli movies always did some star casting. Those were distributed by Disney for a time as well, so I'm sure they had a finger in the pie.
Yeah. So, I don't know about that one.
I don't
know about that one.
It's an interesting article that is being poo-pooed and thought about at the same time, because this has happened before. Ultimately, there are tons and tons of bad star voiceover jobs that have been done over the years. I always think of Over the Hedge as one that was just notoriously bad. And there's also just movies that aren't good, like Pets.
For a very long time, that was a major dividing factor between what I would say the quality of a DreamWorks movie versus the quality of a Disney movie. DreamWorks would stunt cast, and it normally sucked. And a lot of times Pixar, I mean, it'd still be famous people, but it'd be well cast and well directed.
Right, like your Tom Hanks. And of course, everyone's very quick to bring up Robin Williams. And Robin Williams is often blamed for starting it in the 90s and causing this way. We got to get comedians to voice. And it's like, well, that was Robin Williams, who could voice perform.
Yeah, and he was good at it, and hell, he shared a movie with Tim Curry in Ferngully, and Tim Curry was also really well cast for that role.
Yeah. Good old Tim Curry as the pollution monster. Hell yeah.
Yeah. No, I was reading about this, like, and like I sympathize, but I'm just like, how young are you? Because this has been happening forever, and it wouldn't be a new thing. If anything, it would be a bit of a regression to the earlier days of localizing anime for a Western audience.
Yes, and also this would be your warning too that this has fully exploded the subs versus dubs conversation back into the fourfold. So, you know, just
that's the other part of this that I'm just like, why bother? Because there's already a massive portion of the fan base that doesn't experience your work because they watch it in Japanese.
And that original cat, I actually, you know, does this say whether or not the English was in theaters?
I have to imagine. I didn't go. I was going to go to the Spy Family movie, and they offered it in both. It was like playing in multiple theaters at the same theater simultaneously, and you could pick what language you wanted.
Because really, it's just about what you're accustomed with, and the other one sounds awkward, no matter what. If you started up with certain characters, you got used to those voices, and now the other ones sound fake, weird, off. You know, like, and sometimes there'll be shorts on YouTube that are like, I met so-and-so voice performer. I'm like, oh, sick. I want to see this. Oh, that's not what that pig man sounds like. That's weird. And this is awkward. I feel really weird watching this. I don't like that.
Yeah. I don't know, but this is not this take or this concern did not land with me. It also falls very deeply. Lately, I've been making jokes about, because when we were talking about the YouTube apocalypse, I kept making jokes about how, all right, everybody, it's time for everybody's favorite thing. YouTubers complain about YouTube. Like, no one wants to hear that, and like a lot of people would kill to be voice actors. They probably don't want to hear that either. Like, I don't know. It's like take the win, enjoy your moment. Why are you taking like we can fight the good fight like literally next day. Like, this is awesome, and you should be celebrating it and like enjoying your freaking moment.
No, because that is
it's very was very weird to me.
I agree completely. It's a terrible thing when you have a sexy job, because when you go to talk about it, you have to be aware that your job is on a pedestal and people want to hear nothing but glowing things because it's the job they want. And in this case, it did kind of sit with me wrong. As fun as it is to be like, Chris Pratt as Gojo, ha 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 ha. It's like, well, the fact that
that's just a good joke because we're all sick of Chris Pratt.
But also, like, that's just pretty freaking.
That's not what I'm thinking.
That's pretty freaking funny. But in this case, like, I agree. Yeah, take the win, and it is really impressive, and that is super duper cool that Infinity Castle was able to bring in such a huge amount of money. Because frankly, Demon Slayer is awesome property. It is complete, and last I checked, I believe the creators managed to stay completely anonymous throughout the entire thing.
Yeah. So yeah, I don't know, man. You could make the same point in a much more positive, victorious way that I would have appreciated. Again, and I keep coming back in a year where I feel like creativity is under attack. This should be taken as a massive win. Animation is a beautiful collaborative effort by hundreds of creatives to get something made. Dunk on them. Don't fear them. I would so much rather have heard them talking shit about the past of terribly dubbed nonsense than sit up there and cower. I'm sorry, like, tell them to fuck off. You won.
It is a massive win. I'm excited. I don't think there's. I know some people see the whole movie thing as money grubbing. In my case, I just usually don't catch it in theater, and I'm sadly delayed for the experience. But it is pretty cool that a lot of these do continue to break out, particularly when they're on the main story, like this Infinity Castle business.
Yeah, I'm getting more into it. We would 110% be asses in seats, me and Katie, for the Chainsaw Man movie next weekend. It's literally the day we're leaving for Japan. It's the day it releases here in the States, and that like, I'm not gonna complain. I'm really stoked to go travel, but like, that would have been really cool. We like going to the movies, and to me, anime getting to this point where you can pretty much just bank on like your favorite anime. If it has a movie, it's going to get a release in the States. I think that's awesome. Like, you know, mileage varies on how much you like going to theater, can go to the theater, all that kind of stuff. But I like going to theater. So that's really cool to me. I haven't been yet to a major anime feature in the theaters. It's going to happen. And I love that it's an option.
Now on to what we've been playing.
Huzzah!
Choose your character.
Mega Bonk. Welcome to the Mega Bonk section, everybody.
Do I get to hear about tomorrow on stream? You're going to tell me about Katie's thoughts on Act 2, right? I'm waiting.
Tomorrow on stream, we're going to be beating Expedition 33, and all of my focus will be on that. We will not be. We're not going to be. No,
you're not going to tell. Oh, okay.
I am not going to expose the internet to Katie's takes.
Okay.
Do you understand how much I will not be able to stomach anyone wanting to argue with my wife vicariously through me? I will murder that person.
Okay, personally, you're going to talk to me about that in the future as a personal conversation. Anyway,
yeah,
I will wait patiently for that.
No, I put myself out on the internet. That's me. That is my decision.
Okay.
I am not putting Katie's thoughts out on the internet. That's
very well. Very well.
We're not doing that. Nope. Let's talk about Mega Bonk.
Okay, Mega Bonkin.
This game's great. I do think it could be a little more great.
Oh, okay. Well, I mean,
I'm more than getting my money's worth. Let's be very clear.
Oh, you paid
$9.99.
$10.
This game is $10 in the States. Boy, so many hours for my dollars. Holy shit! I've already gone past the 10-hour mark on hours played. So I've more than gotten an hour of entertainment per dollar.
Mine are Steam Deck hours, so they're going to be slightly skewed.
Oh, because you put it down and walk
Yeah,
away.
because
It's still running.
I pause and let it roll. How many hours?
I do not have a Steam Deck, so my 11 hours logged are 11 very active hours with this game.
Okay, I've played 9 hours of this since Friday.
Okay.
That's pretty decent.
Cool. Yeah, it's 3D Vampire Survivors, and I'm told with some Risk of Rain 2 added in. I've never played Risk of Rain 2, can't speak to it, but yeah, I trust our mod Luke, who has played it and said, yeah, all the things you're not recognizing, that's from Risk of Rain 2.
Interesting. Yeah, there's things I freaking love about this, like the shrines. They give. So as Garrett said, this is essentially a Vampire Survivors run around, and you auto shoot various powers out of your body while collecting power ups. And
yeah, and so Vampire Survivors was a top down 2D video game where your only control was movement. You could just move around the stage, and instead of fighting against the bullet hell, you kind of become the bullet hell. A lot of people call these bullet heavens, which I think is a pretty apt description.
I haven't heard that. That's ridiculous.
So yeah, you pick up it's a roguelite because there are some permanent
Yes, you keep
upgrades to be had.
Separate menu.
But the core gameplay loop focuses around finding randomized, non-permanent upgrades per run and making yourself more powerful and having more types of attacks and more powerful attacks emanating from the body of your in-game character. And so, yeah, Vampire Survivors was top down. You could only your only control was movement, and now with Megabonk, this game, it's 3D, and so your only controls are movement and jumping and
sliding,
sliding, really not so much crouching, but yeah, sliding. And so yeah, you add sliding and jumping into the mix, plus some terrain because again, it's not 2D. The terrain doesn't play a huge role, but it does play a bit of a role. You can get stuck somewhere with like only one exit and get yourself into a lot of trouble.
Yeah, you might get cornered. That's about the extent of the terrain interactions. I haven't really had anything unfortunate beyond that. I don't really get stuck on things. It's pretty smooth. The shrines just do a lot for me, honestly. The fact that there is some pressure to execute a still maneuver or a slightly moving maneuver
a somewhat still maneuver.
A dedicated area.
Have a small circle around them that if you stay in between, it charges the shrine, and when you finish charging the shrine, you get an upgrade. But it takes a little bit of time to charge those shrines, and so if you have a massive horde of enemies coming toward you, it's a huge liability to try and stay in a quite small location.
I also really like the boss portals. I like that you have a challenge that is different from your normal challenge, whether you're dodging and weaving more or just having something on your ass for an extended period of time that makes you spec in a different way. You have to cover more bases with your spec rather than just, do I have enough defense and enough attack in order to survive long enough?
Yeah. So I'm really liking it. It's pretty much all I've done with any spare time I've cobbled together this week. Oh god, I'm about to die. Kyle has my old game footage up on for the video version of this program. Yeah, I really freaking like it. I got horribly obsessed with Vampire Survivors this year. I was really late to the game. As a matter of fact, when you and I were coming back from Wyoming, we were wicked early to our connection coming home. So we're just like sitting in the chairs by our gate for like hours on end, and I look over and you're playing this thing I had never seen. It was Vampire Survivors. And I go, what the hell is that? And you're like, it's Vampire Survivors. And I'm like, oh, I heard like everyone talking about that last year, but I never even went and looked it up. And you're like, you want to play? And I was like, sure. And then I immediately installed it on my phone, and that's the only thing I did on our 4-hour flight home. I literally did not put the phone down. I looked up, suddenly we're back in Florida. It's one of those. It's a wonderful time machine. If you're waiting for something and you don't want to experience that wait, play Vampire Survivors, or now you can play Megabonk. Although with Megabonk, you're going to have to pick it up on Steam Deck because that's the only portable way to play this at the moment.
It was very good at that, though. It was very nice you can pause this game, by the way.
Yes.
But being able to pause and put it up and pick it down is pretty darn good. It's a very good one of these. I really like the changes they've done. The only thing I don't like is completely selfish. I wish it didn't have F-bombs in it. It's just text on screen, but the game has a sense of comedy that is okay. It kind of reminds me of Magica. But
yeah.
Magica was more like a pile of random movie references. This is more like skill issue or haha, that ability's cringe is what it'll say online.
This is very modern internet meme culture. To mostly, I would say to its detriment. It's probably my least favorite thing about the game. But every once in a while, it does have something I'm like, oh shit, I do find that amusing. But whatever, it's not that prominent. It's mostly just when like you start a mission or start a level or start a run, and when you die, it's pretty much the only time you ever kind of see that kind of stuff. My issue with it, I really like it. It's harder than I feel it should be. I feel like it's a bit stingy. The starting run speed, I think, is too damn slow. And I feel like you don't level up I feel like you have to be too active with your decisions to level up as fast as I find fun. The speed to level up is too slow at a base level without finding items in the world that increase difficulty, which spawn more things, and so you can level up faster that way, or going a level up build. I wish it was a little faster just in movement and I wish I got more levels in a basic run. I feel like I have to get really goddamn lucky.
I would say
in a way that I didn't feel about Vampire Survivors.
The shrines make it more restrictive, kind of like Night Rain. If you don't have a good path to chain yourself into a couple of buffs very quickly, you can struggle in the higher difficulties. In particular, there is some characters like Among Us is kind of the joke there. That has a poison attack that sucks, but can be really good with a couple of power-ups. You might have to get lucky to get other poisons to stack with it. That's no different than a card game, like a Slay the Spire. Like, oh no, my
builder,
my build is based on poison. I hope I get trinkets that enhance my poison. However, on some of the characters, if you get unlucky and you're getting nothing but tomes to up your stats for your first picks, now you have nothing that deals any damage. So, if anything, it's too restrictive, at least in the strategies I've found that work. I've found only 2 real viable builds. I'm not playing with any sort of tier lists or anything like that for my own enjoyment, my own dollar per hour. Sorry, mechanic spoiler for anybody who cares, 10 seconds. 3, 2, 1, go. The first boss that you unlock when you get to tier 3 takes all your weapons except for your first one.
Wow.
And you have to beat him with just your starter weapon. As far as I'm aware, that sucked because my starter weapon sucked when I got there because I was relying on the other things I had locked on the way. However, in a completely blind environment, that's content. I just got myself another 30-hour or 30-second and 30-minute run out of this game that I otherwise would have beat and been like, cool, I've completed Forest. What's next? I guess I'm getting kind of bored.
I haven't even made it to the third boss. I haven't made it to the tier 3 boss. Yeah, and I have gone and done a little reading because some of the heroes I unlocked, I'm like, I really don't know what to do with this, and so so even with my being armed with some outside knowledge, I'm still like, this is just a bit tougher than I want from one of these types of games. This I don't go to Vampire Survivors to get good. I am more than capable of being bit by the get good bug. This is not the genre of game that I go to for that.
I will say that
experience.
Unlike Vampire Survivors suffered slightly in the more I unlock things, the less I got what I wanted issue. Like I get a new...
Oh, yeah. I haven't unlocked a lot of additional weapons or tomes for a similar reason. Yeah.
Megabonk, I've been happy with that. I've gotten every weapon when it unlocks, and I always like them. I always feel like I got a good job.
Also, some of the starter weapons are pretty bad. So
yeah,
unlocking some of the future weapons felt like a pretty big boon.
And there are one, just like Vampire Survivors, let's say you got this revolver here and you grab a tome that gives you increased size. Okay, you just got a non-starter. You just got something that really isn't going to affect your tiny little pistol shot. This game's pretty good about even if you increase duration, something about it increases in duration. Something about it will increase in size. Like even the things, projectile count. Does it have a projectile? Not really, but we're going to give you this other aspect of it that kind of works like a projectile. And I never felt like I really ruined a build by picking something bad. And that's to the game's credit. Vampire Survivors really kind of puts you in a corner when you start looking at what you can stack. In addition to stacking, I'm not aware that Megabonk has stacked weapons, which is refreshing. Unless you
mean like combining?
Yeah, because combining's fun.
I really liked that. I really liked that in Vampire Survivors.
It's fun as shit, but it's also restrictive at the end of the day because you get something and then you go, oh, I got axes, but now I can't get scythes because I never got the this run sucks. This run is ruined. I remember in Dota loving the idea that you could take 2 gauntlets of strength and put it with a hammer and make a item. Because of the limited inventory space, that worked and didn't feel restrictive. Hey, nice job getting the monkey on screen. you found the key and you got there's lots of little secrets throughout these maps.
Yeah.
I haven't gotten to a third map. If there's one, I could definitely use a third map even at 9 hours already.
Yeah, same. I haven't gotten there either. I'm assuming clearing tier 3 is part of the challenge to get additional maps and so that's I'm with you. I'm like I could use another map and I'm like and I can't get there and the game's actually hard and whatever tell me to get good, but I'm just like this game is a little overtuned in my opinion for the fun that I show up for with one of these.
I would definitely say keep unlocking shit. I definitely felt like the missiles I unlocked in tier 2 of the list were slightly better than the tier 1 items I was getting, and I've just never really regretted trying a new weapon.
Cool. Yeah. A lot of the starter ones are not great. Like when I got the revolver, I was like, holy shit, this is amazing. And same with some of the tomes. Like I've got weirdly into Sir Ufi, the knight character.
Sir Ufi, nice.
Yes, that's the name. It's one of the 2 starter characters that you start with.
He's solid. Yeah, he's a good starter character.
Yeah. And so I was rushing to try and unlock I think was it the armor tome, just so because he already has like benefits from having armor. So that was like, I was like, cool. I want to unlock that tome. I know what I'm going for, and so that was fun. But yeah, for the last 4 hours or so of game time, I haven't really had a goal beyond just clearing tier 3, and that hasn't happened. And I think I got some multiple very poor luck runs off stream back to back, where I was just like starting to turn a little bit on the base tuning of the game.
Oh, there's a lot of runs that are just non-starters. I feel like I definitely
it does have a restart button, which I'm really happy about.
I feel like I get further in a just random Vampire Survivor game too. So I'm coming around to your side. I definitely have maps where just 2 minutes and I'm completely swarmed. There's nothing I got good and I'm done.
To me, the worst feeling in this game is just like not finding enough damage in like the first minute, because it just becomes so apparent. And that's where I'm like, okay, thank God. I'm thankful for the restart button. But I've also, just like Vampire Survivors, I've had some runs where I'm like, this is what a shit build. And you end up, making it to tier 3 really easily, or I guess third gate very easily, but you choose what tier you start on.
Yeah, definitely armor lifesteal has been the one that is my boredom pick right now. Like I just want to win. I'm not going to find it particularly interesting after doing it a few times, but hey, it gets the job done.
Yeah. I'm leaning that way too. So it's interesting to hear that you ended up there, and that's where I started. I think kind of turning on the difficulty, because I was like, I feel like I'm being forced down this route because I can never find enough damage to where I don't need constant self-heal.
I don't have a jump tome. I don't know if there is one. I've definitely done well on Clank as a shields, movement speed, jump build, and just survive.
Movement speed and jump is just plain fun. Like it just feels good. But I'm at a point now where when I go for it, I'm like, I'm missing out on so much potential damage as a result of, intentionally heading into jumping and move speed.
Well, and that's the balancing act. And I feel like that's what the game is applying that you don't get everywhere else. So many games, you got your glass cannons and you have your tanks. And because of the multiplayer aspect, that is the best. And having to balance, too, what you can pick. It gets so much easier when you unlock more slots for weapons and tomes. If I had to restart this game, I would be tilted with that knowledge now. Because I would just...
Have you gotten the fourth slots for weapons and tomes?
Yes.
Oh, okay. I have not.
They're tied to quests. Look at your quest log and see if you can figure it out.
Okay. I figured as much. I haven't gone back in there since stream day.
Yeah, it makes it quite a bit easier.
Really ogled the quests. So, okay, cool. But still a really good game. I'm still going to play a crap ton of it. It's just the one wrinkle for me is feels like it could be a little more fun right out of the box with the base tuning, but your mileage may vary. I also played Stanley Parable, and I'm not going to tell you a damn thing about it.
Yeah, you played. When was that? Wednesday. When
Last
I was
Wednesday.
sick. I
you
was
were
out sick.
horribly ill.
I was horribly ill. Yeah, that was.
So
lame.
I played Stanley Parable without you, and I low key think that was the right call. I am dying to see you play this game now.
Interesting. I've heard good things about it in the past. I know it's a popular stream game. I'm glad you had a good time. I was really happy you had a good time.
I loved it. One of my favorite things I've played this year. Even though it's a very old game, originally released, I think, in 2011.
My understanding is that there is a narrator and he says stuff you're doing, and chat was very excited about your malicious compliance.
Who said I complied?
Well, that's why. Yeah, exactly. I think
it is a video game nerd's video game. I'll just say that much. If you find the mental ask of engaging with a video game fascinating from a psychological standpoint, I think you're going to have a lot of fun with Stanley Parable. If you just like playing shooters, and I do like playing shooters. I'm not trying to talk down to anybody. I could see this being one of the most maddening experiences in the history of video games.
I've heard a lot about this Slay the Princess. I guess that's a newer version of this with a horror edge to it.
I am more than happy to receive, not in stream chat, somewhere where I can retrieve this message of a list of suggestions of games that are like Stanley Parable, because I would like to now assemble a menu of options for games that I think would be really fun for us to play individually and then come back together and talk about.
Okay. That's a good idea.
Because I think Stanley Parable is essentially a perfect one of those. I think this will be a better experience if we enjoy it alone and then kind of talk about our experience. I think that'd be really fun.
Yeah, it sounds like the driver's seat is pretty important in this case.
Yes. Yeah. I still would have had a good time playing it with you, but I do think I would enjoy more watching you play it than being in the room with you as you play it. So unless everybody wants to just watch me fight speaking in the corner.
Yeah, the narrator's backseating too. So yeah, maybe not the best backseat game for two people in the same room.
Unless you just want to watch my facial expressions.
Okay. Yeah. That's what we did for Alien Isolation. That was a fun time.
you.
I did have a good time with that. Yeah.
I was trying not to poop my pants.
It was a fabulous game. I love that every year around Halloween, like the devs come out with an interview, like, all right, get them out here, push them on stage, say the thing. The alien AI was so advanced, we made the game too hard for ourselves. Yay! We never intended to make a 20-hour horror game. We just thought it'd be a cute 5-hour game. Yay!
Hell yeah. Hell freaking yeah. Tomorrow we beat Claire Obscure, so if you're watching this live or listening to it the day it came out, come join us. We'll be streaming pretty much all day to get through the end of Claire Obscure Expedition 33. It has caused a divide in our household. I love where it's heading. Katie was not stoked.
I'm very excited to someday hear about that, just because I find it fascinating.
I'll tell you about it because I know you can be respectful.
I find that idea fascinating, and of course, I'm curious. Let me ask this: was it a pet thought that she really wanted it to be, or was the execution the issue?
I think it was I have all sorts of personal thoughts that I haven't even fired at her to see, because I think she just kind of was annoyed with a certain reveal. And I don't want to talk. I don't want her to force her to talk about something that she finds annoying.
Sure.
So yeah, and she's not a content creator, so it's not her job.
It takes so much. It takes so much background information. I remember when we were.
I think it was. If I had to guess, I think it was a combination of the end of that particular chapter drops a lot on you all at once. Also, after a very long period of nothing but combat.
Sure.
And so pacing, I think pacing, even as someone who played through it, I think it is a bit much all at once. I would say that. I have to imagine that as a spectator, it's particularly tough from a pacing perspective to just go from, oh my God, when is this combat going to be over? I just want to see what happens in the story next. I also just don't think the reveal worked for her. I think I think she's having a bit of, oh, well, what is the point of any of this now? I could see that being a dividing line. I have heard that is a dividing line for some people. It is not for me. I think it might be for her.
I'm very much of the puts on sunglasses nihilism. So to me, that is hilarious that anyone would feel that way. Because what's the point of anything, Welcome to the human experience. But I totally understand that. And I remember the amount of backstory it eventually took to make people think Kristen wasn't some conniving villainess. Because I would always say oh, she hates that song. Oh, she hates the sound of this. And then we were interviewing Amanda, and I was like, oh yeah, Kristen sings opera, and chat was like, oh, that's why she hates breaths or squeaking guitars or MIDI songs, because she's trained classically. This makes sense now.
Dude, I think about this all the time. Not your wife. I just find it so fascinating, the lack of interest as a society in people with different opinions. I really do, man. And some of this has been on my mind a lot recently. This is not me complaining, and I don't want to talk about it. Chat, don't engage me for the next 5 minutes. We got a lot of people complaining after the roundtable last week. A lot of people that it seems like showed up to air their grievances with whatever, in some cases, one thing in a 2-hour conversation was said that they don't agree with. And that is your prerogative. That's fine. I would prefer if you weren't rude to our guests, but they're also content creators. They signed up for this. That's an argument you can make. I would prefer, if you're going to complain to them, go complain to them on their stream where they can defend themselves. I think that would be the classier move. Anyway, I digress. I like listening to people. I like it when I tune into a movie review and the reviewer had the complete opposite response to the movie that I did. I find that interesting. I like hearing different takes, different responses to creative works. I find that fun, and I just feel like that response is rarer than I would like it to be on the internet. It feels like everyone wants to find someone they agree with.
I do like
find
that feeling.
Exhausting, because your example of Kristen. Anytime you tell me a Kristen take on an anime, it is the polar opposite of what I feel about pretty much anything. Almost like title by title. Whatever she likes, I'm like, woof. That is one of the worst things I've ever tried to watch, and everything I love is apparently her least favorite entry in a genre of anime. And yet I love when we get to hang out with you two. I think she is a hilarious individual, and I really enjoy her company. But when it comes to what we consume, I don't think we could be more different.
That's fair.
No. I think about that a lot. I always bring up our mutual buddy, Brian Brushwood. I think he has consistently the wrong take about pretty much every movie that's ever released. And I love hearing him talk about it. He likes some of the worst movies ever made and absolutely disrespects some of the coolest shit I've ever seen. And I like it. It's fun. It's fun to listen to.
Well, at least we're all in agreement that no one went to go to see Tron Ares. That's what's important at the end of the day.
I've never rooted for the failure of something more.
The music's cool. I like it.
You know, it's like, have you ever heard, like, you know, when someone who is an absolute piece of shit dies, have you ever heard would you call it an idiom? I don't know. Is it a Mark Twain quote? It's a quote that it's like, I've never wished death upon someone, but I have read an obituary with great pleasure.
That's a great quote. I haven't heard that before.
That's how I feel about Tron Ares. It's just like, listen, a lot of people besides Jared Leto worked on this movie, and I weep for their creative contribution. But oh my God, have I never personally felt more attacked by a cash-in, cynical studio decision after studio decision than Tron Ares. I love Tron Legacy so much, and it is strictly Tron Legacy. I think the original Tron is unwatchable.
It is.
I love Tron Legacy and Tron Legacy alone. And I don't think you could find someone more excited for more Tron than me. And anytime I heard, saw, or read anything about Tron Ares, I was just like, this is the worst possible decision they could have made.
I've put some work into trying to watch Tron a few times. I have like 3 movies like this. Space Odyssey, Blade Runner, and Tron. And I watch them like every 3 years just to see why I don't like them. Because it fascinates me. Because on paper, I love everything about all 3 of these movies.
Wait, what were the other 2?
Space Odyssey.
Okay.
And Blade Runner.
Okay. I have not revisited Space Odyssey since my teen years, and I found it horribly boring. I would probably love it now because I just love things that are shot on film, and Stanley Kubrick is a genius.
It's so long. It's so it's so boring.
I can understand getting there because that's where I left it. I haven't revisited it. I would probably like it now. Blade Runner, it hurts me that you don't like it.
Well, that's what I agree. I agree.
The meme around here is that you and I fought about Dune, and it's the biggest fight we've ever had on air. Kyle and I have had such worse fights in private, by the way, about much more important things than Dune.
That's true.
But honestly, for me, it's Blade Runner because it's like one of my all-time. I think it's one of the all-time greats, and yeah, that's where my enjoying someone having a different take goes out a window because I love Blade Runner too much, and I just want to share that love with like everyone in my life.
Yeah, I'd feel the same way about Dark Crystal and several of the movies that I just like get completely engrossed in. But no, Blade Runner is like why? Like I can just see chat being like, "Why is he laughing?" While someone cartwheels and handsprings down the hallway, and then like I'm just cracking up and during teardrops in the rain, and like I just can't do it.
I would probably punch you if you laughed during teardrops in the rain. I would probably yeah. No, chat wouldn't be asking why he's laughing. Chat would be asking, was that assault?
Yeah.
That's what chat would be asking.
But yeah, the Tron Ares didn't do too hot. The ride itself is just weird. Its existence. I was at Magic Kingdom over the weekend, but had an amazing.
It's not a
time
Tron Ares ride. It's the
well,
Tron
they changed it. They made it red and like
they
it plays,
made it red.
It plays like a quote from the movie or something like. Wait, have you been on Pirates of the Caribbean? And as you go up the little escalator thing at the end, it's like, Jack Sparrow might come again. On stranger tides, this is Blackbeard speaking. Wah! And it's like, come on, change it out.
It's like, turn this off. Why is this? Why are you still using Ian McShane? It's fine.
He's
you can
cool.
Turn him off.
It's fine.
That's not a new movie anymore.
No, that was
Stop it
at a point. That's weird.
Stop it. The newer stuff on Star Tours is pretty sick though. There's a Mandalorian. You might get a Mandalorian planet randomly, and that's pretty sick. I'm not gonna lie. You could also go to Crate, the planet at the end of Last Jedi that you like to make fun of Salt for, but that's also a pretty damn fun section of that ride if you get it randomly.
Oh, they just gotta smooth that thing out, man. I can't even. I'll be pilled up to.
Oh yeah, sorry, you're on that. I always remember that you're lactose intolerant first and motion sick second.
Well, I appreciate that because it doesn't come up as much together, but oh my God, Star Tours is absolute murder. I did the teacups this weekend and I survived, but holy shit, Star Tours, not touching it.
That's interesting because I would say stuff like teacups is the closest I get to getting nauseous.
It's about vibration,
I can ride a simulator all day, but like teacups or the strawberries at like the fair, that shit can start to upset my
also
stomach.
Like I think a third of the duration. Teacups is pretty fast. You can buckle down. But
Ricardo's in chat asking if I've watched Tron Uprising. No, I haven't. I've been told to. I hear it's very good. I have not watched it.
But Disney's got a huge identity problem. That park is a mess. Magic Kingdom. I had such a good time. My kids had
about to be a bigger mess. They're adding that Cars stuff.
They had a beautiful time. Everyone was vibing. The kids had the weather was beautiful. Just everything about it was absolutely magical. But yeah, that park's a mess.
Yeah. I don't know. I'm sure one day I will watch Tron Ares on a plane.
It sounds like the perfect place for it.
But yeah, it's just freaking man. You had the director of Top Gun Maverick. God, you had Daft Punk. Granted, I've listened to the score a bit from Nine Inch Nails, and it's sick. If they weren't going to get Daft Punk again, they made the right decision in that regard. That was like the one good thing to come out of this. We got a Nine Inch Nails record. We got a new Nine Inch Nails score out of the deal. But yeah, man, I just think Jared Leto is one of the worst actors of our generation. No interest. I have no interest, dude. Otherwise, performed worse than Morbius. It had a worse opening weekend than Morbius.
Otherwise, I was sick and I watched nothing but Crunchyroll subscriptions. So Campfire Cooking in Another World with My Absurd Skill, Dress Up Darling Season 2, and Kaiju number 8 Season 2.
I apparently missed Spy Family coming back. I'm already 2 weeks late on this shit.
Oh, yeah, that is back. Yeah, we haven't gotten to that yet. Finishing up the Dress Up Darling.
I am hoping to carve out some time with you to do a full Dan to Dan spoiler cast before I leave for Japan. But our schedule is a little cramped at the moment, y'all. So if timing pending on that, I would love to be here today telling you an exact date when we're going to drop the Dan to Dan spoiler cast. But we will time will tell. We'll see if time is kind to us. So, want to take some questions?
Hell yeah.
Let's do it.
Hello there. Hello there. Hello there.
Drop a question in the Ask the Host channel in the Grinding Gear Discord. If you support us in any way, you have access to it. Just make sure you link your YouTube if you're a YouTube member, your Patreon if you're a patron, or your Twitch if you subscribe on Twitch to your Discord account. And drop a question in Ask the Hosts. Iprix did just that and asked us our favorite Pokemon. I'm sure I've talked to you about this before. I do not remember your favorite Pokemon.
Blastoise.
good
No.
damn pick.
Well, you know, I oscillate between how much I've seen recently of either Blastoise or Gengar. If I just walked into Target and there's Blastoise shit everywhere, I'm like, oh, I'm such a Gengar main. And then if I go in there, there's a bunch of like socks of Gengar. I'm like, oh, Gengar sold out. I'm a Blastoise main. I like both of them equally. And I go with my hipster whims.
Those are good picks. I'm a Haunter greater than Gengar weirdo. I prefer
That's
Haunter.
fine. Yeah.
It's one of the rare occasions. Oh, there's a middle evolution. That is just straight up.
Oh yeah, that's a good pick.
The line.
Yeah.
There we go. We were talking about middle evolutions earlier. No, Haunter. Raichu. I'm a big Raichu fan.
Oh, nice, you monster.
I just like that design. Raichu looks cool.
Just hate erasing Pikachu's personality and making him cry.
Yes. Yeah. If you subscribe to the anime nonsense.
As that one episode apparently taught us, that was messed up.
That episode. Listen, they removed the episode that caused epileptic seizures, and they removed the episode where James got a rockin' pair of boobs.
Yes.
They in fact, they did the wrong thing. They need to remove and delete from existence the Lieutenant Surge episode of the Pokemon anime, because it raised a generation of shitty Pokemon players. They're missing out on so much power by not freaking evolving their Pikachu. It's nonsense.
No, it was a weird emotional hostage situation. Butterfree just got like hit, right? Like they just got rocked or something.
Butterfree is part flying, right? Or is Butterfree?
No, like one of the saddest episodes ever was the Butterfree episode. Because Butterfree pieces out. I think Butterfree's like, I'm gonna go be free now. You know.
I think he lets him go.
Yeah, well, because because Butterfree only lives like 2 days. You know, he's got to go mate with the other monarchs. Otherwise, he's dead in Mexico or something.
He released Butterfree. Yeah, no, it was sweet. The Pokemon anime, I have issues. I take issue with that because it's like, oh, you're making me think too much about actually being kind of real animals in the real world. I just want an anime about what is essentially chicken fights. But I do remember that episode affecting me emotionally as a child. Like it's a very sweet episode.
And yet, well, I guess he's electric type. I feel like if Ash used a bicycle to power up Pikachu, he should be okay with using a Thunderstone to power up Pikachu. I get it for licensing it, raw money dollars. Totally makes sense. Let's not muddy the waters. Pikachu's a hit. Raichu's not the same thing.
Pikachu's a hit. Yeah. Like I like Pikachu well enough. I'm a much bigger fan of Chonker Pikachu, like the OG Pikachu art. Yeah, I don't know. I just always liked how Raichu looked. Just thought it was a cool looking Pokemon, and I was at the age where I still had like pet mice, so I really liked rodents at the time. So, yeah, it was a whole thing, Big Raichu fan, and we got Wolfhorn yelling Azumarill, Toxicroak, and Flygon. I know one of those.
Wow.
Wait, is Toxicroak the one that wears his tongue like a ninja?
No, that's Greninja. That he's got ninja in his name.
Oh, okay. I don't know new Pokemon, man. And to me, new is anything post 99. So yeah. I need to find my Pokemon. We need to do a bonus where we go through our Pokemon cards and we see who has the most expensive card.
Oh, Waves asked a question I wanted to ask you. How was Distant Worlds?
Yes, I went to Distant Worlds, the Final Fantasy Orchestra this past weekend. It was awesome. I cannot recommend it enough. It was a really good time. I'm trying to think. If I am lying, it's unintentional. I don't think I've ever been to an orchestra before.
Never even like on a field trip or anything? Like,
I don't think so. We went to the local theater a few times, but that was to see local renditions of plays, not to watch an orchestra. And we went to FanFest, but that was a piano-only concert followed by a full-on rock concert. They didn't do an orchestra there either.
Different vibe, you know, seats facing the stage and acoustics and all that. What'd you think?
It was insane. Like, I really liked our seats. So tickets were more than I wanted to spend. I think our tickets were just over $100 each, and we were front of the first balcony section. So,
okay, that's a solid seat. Yeah.
Does mezzanine level mean a thing? Is that a traditional? If I say mezzanine, is the mezzanine the same in every opera house?
It sounds fancy. I couldn't tell you that.
So I did get us pretty freaking rocking seats though, because it was like we were front center of the first balcony level. So we were like damn near perfectly centered up with the actual stage. The acoustics were incredible. Like it sounded so good, my dude. Like I've never been in anything like this. First of all, it was really funny, and I made a terrible joke to Katie when I sat down because all the musicians are there and they're tuning, so it has that classical sound of an orchestra tuning. And I turned to Katie and I go, it's like I just booted up my PS3.
Yeah, it did do that. That was classic.
Yep. Yeah, I remember it infuriating one of my roommates at the time. It was a total Nintendo fanboy, and he was like, "Who do they think they are?"
Oh, I always thought it was awesome.
I'm like, who cares? It's fine.
Did Nintendo didn't have a launcher, right? The GameCube?
No, the GameCube did.
I thought that only happened when you put a disc in. GameCube didn't have like you started.
Oh, you're talking about just actual power on.
Yeah,
because I don't think the GameCube didn't have like a home screen or anything.
Yeah.
Essentially that worked then because you had to launch it with a game in it. So it's kind of the same. You had a cube menu? I don't remember that.
Cube menu.
Not my most played console of that generation. It was the first time in my life I had more than one console, though, because I had a job and my own money. I could do whatever the hell I wanted with it. So I bought a GameCube.
The Cube is nice. I think the Sega might be my favorite, though.
Do you prefer Sega? Because I prefer Sega.
No, I don't like Sega. Was those weird ass commercials where like Aladdin turned a kid into a dog and then turned his other friend into a fire hydrant and shit. Those were disturbing. And then there's like an old lady screaming in the background for no reason.
Oh my god. Freaking yeah. But anyway, it was awesome. Like the acoustics in a room like that with an orchestra. I'm sure I'm not saying anything mind blowing to anyone who's ever experienced an orchestra before in their life, but like there's just really no way to describe that sound. Like it sounds like a recording. It's so present, and like clean, and it just reverberates. It was really cool. Like as someone who will just never forget, like the first time I went to like a rock concert, and it was like you felt the speakers in your bones. Like it's like the opposite, but an equal experience to that. It's like comforting and beautiful and warming. I don't know. It was very cool, very, very cool experience. I did no research. I just bought tickets because it was the Final Fantasy Orchestra, and I was like, sure, that sounds like a beautiful excuse to get dolled up, which took more convincing than I thought for Katie. She's like, no one's going to dress up. We're not dressing up for the video game concert. No one's going to dress up. It's going to be a bunch of people in t-shirts. And I was like, but we're going to the local opera house. Like, we have formal wear we never get to wear. It's a wonderful excuse.
Huh.
We were both right. There were tons of people just wearing like, t-shirts and jeans.
Oh, really?
There were also tons of people in full-on regalia.
I judge.
And there were tons of people in full-on dope-ass cosplay. I got onto the elevator with Graha and Vana. It was sick.
Oh, that's interesting. Oh, man, that is a mixed... I have opinions, but I need to sort through them. That's interesting.
Of Graha hanging out with Vana?
No, just I 100% you dress up. That's what you do. But then you bring cosplay into them. Like, well, I haven't. Like, if, let's say, I don't know what the fanciest show in the world is. Carmen. I don't know. You're going to like the fanciest opera show that's ever existed, but it's on a cruise. You can wear whatever the shit you want. You can be in sandals. I do not care. It's happenstance that there's a nice show on a cruise.
I mean, you can wear whatever you want.
But if you go to an actual concert, you gotta dress up. But I think cosplay is absolutely acceptable.
Yeah. I'm not judging. I like dressing up, and I have no excuse to do it at this point in my life. Like everyone's married. So it's pretty much if someone dies, that's the only time I'm wearing formal wear. I would like to wear formal wear for a fun occasion because everyone's already married and I'm not getting dressed up because you had a kid. Everyone has a kid now. It's not special anymore. So I just wanted to dress up. I just wanted an excuse. I thought it was a fun excuse. We had a good time. Check it out on my Instagram.
That's awesome, dude. Hell yeah.
Yeah, it was fun. And it got stopped a lot. Thanks for saying hi, everybody that said hi. I was not having a good week. I was not feeling the love from the Final Fantasy XIV community last week. So it was nice. It was nice to hear from folks. Who
a good little palate cleanser.
Okay, this is not bragging, but I do want to share it because it was humorous. All right. So there was an intermission, which I'm not used to. Horribly had to go to the restroom. My God. Made the mistake of buying an overpriced gin and tonic before sitting down. And then that was empty by the time intermission came and I had to go. The line was a mile long. It was a very long line for the bathroom. Met a lovely viewer of the stream behind me in line for the bathroom. Took a photo, which I'm now giggling about because it's now just the bathroom line selfie.
It's a photo that you had to pee real bad in, yeah.
And then while I'm in line, people are going by, and I just kept bumping into people who were aware of what you and I do on the internet. Happened so many times that as I'm about to go to the urinal, like the last dude in front of me in line who had no idea who I was just like, man, you really are famous. I'm like,
that's great.
I was just like, just very specifically, this doesn't happen when I go to Publix.
That's fair. Yeah, fair.
It was embarrassing and extremely sweet. So thank you, everybody.
That's
Appreciate
awesome,
y'all.
man. Yeah, I love concerts. I love dressing up. I love just sitting there trying to pick out each instrument with my ears and try to like localize it. That's why I like vinyl, because it has this lightest hint of that quality where you can just like, oh, is that just the violin I hear?
It is cool. It is sweet. I will 100% go. And what was more important to me is Katie really enjoyed it because she's played no Final Fantasy. Basically, she's played a tiny bit of 14. And on the way home, I was just like, so would you do that again? She's like, yeah, 100%. She's like, that was really cool. Sounded awesome. We also just had a good night. We went out. I think, Chris is in chat right now. We went out with Chris.
Oh, cool.
Wife.
Nice.
Afterwards, there was a cocktail joint that I like around the corner that I haven't been to in forever. And it was just like, it was perfectly serendipitous. Yeah, I felt young and alive, Kyle. We were hanging out in downtown Tampa past 11 p.m. on a weekend, which is not normally how I live my life. So all dolled up in a nice cocktail joint. They had like a live jazz singer too, and she was really good. I was like, man, it's fun to pretend you have money every once in a while.
Yeah,
I could get it because I'm more of a punk rock show guy. Like normally I was like, put on my shorts, put on my chucks, go to the pit. But it was fun to have a classy evening. Even if it was a gamer classy evening.
Oh, dude, I feel you, man. We did that Magic Kingdom trip. We did Disney bounding, which is what light cosplay is called, apparently. Like very light cosplay.
Did you just learn this?
Yes, I only just learned about this.
Huh? Because you came to Disney with me after BlizzCon multiple times, right?
Oh yeah. We did that
because the 2 years in a row, and I think there were the 2 years that you came with us to Disneyland after BlizzCon. It was Dapper Day, which is a thing where everyone dresses, I think, like they're in the 50s and they go to Disney. And there's a lot of Disney bounding with the dapperness. They find ways to make a dapper outfit also look like a character from Disney. And that's how I learned about Disney bounding.
Yeah, that was fun.
It was from Dapper Day at Disneyland.
We did 3 flounders and an Ariel and Prince Eric. And it was
that's adorable. Oh, you did it.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah,
that's cute. I have never Disney bounded.
Oh, it was super simple. Like it was a white kind of piratey shirt with blue shorts and a red belt for me. So serviceable, nothing no one would confuse for an employee, but still had that hint of, hey, I'm Prince Eric, everybody. I'm gonna drive a boat into Ursula. Spoiler alert. Sorry about that.
Oh my God, Kyle. Unnecessary. Most unnecessary spoiler alert of the year goes to Kyle Ferguson. But yeah, you should go. I'm really hoping the Expedition 33 Orchestra comes.
That'd be cool. Oh,
I would kill to go to that. So yeah, but no, it was a good time. And we'll close this out. Crit asked, have you ever felt compelled to buy a game again, despite owning it on another platform? If so, which game and why? I've bought tons of games more than once.
I've probably bought Warcraft 3 the most times, which I believe is 4.
That's an odd one.
Well, I kept losing the discs. I kept moving. And then I ended up in college and I didn't have my discs and I wanted to play the game again. So I bought it again. And
I accidentally stole my ex-girlfriend's brother's Diablo 2 copy. When Battle.net launched, I wasn't really thinking about the DRM of it all. And I entered the CD key.
Oh, damn.
into my Battle.net.
Oh, that's pretty funny. Yeah, I can see how that'd be an innocent mistake, particularly given that like StarCraft Brood War had Spawn and all that on it. You could just install it on anybody's machine.
Yeah. I mean, back in the day, all you needed was the CD key. So, but yeah, I only bought Warcraft 3 once, and I entered that CD key into my Battle.net. And now I have it forever, even though they kind of screwed up the online of it all. But
because you bought it so late. Yeah, there was no Battle.net back in the day to localize it, to make the CD key permanent to an account of any kind.
Yeah. No, most games I've repurchased is just for like convenience of playing it elsewhere, and it usually that's because it was like so cheap. I was like, yeah, screw it, I'll have this. Like I own Witcher 3 on PC and on I think Xbox. It's either Xbox or PS5. Because I wanted to play it on the big TV and it didn't have any sort of cross play. And I bought it on PC first, and I think I got it for like $15-20 as we were watching Witcher, and Katie was like, oh, I kind of want to see this game. And it's still to this day, I have not beat Witcher 3. We should do that at some point. But yeah, I own that twice. I'm trying to think. Like if I just boot up my Steam.
I know there's lots of 2s just from the Steam era, like Oblivion. And then Steam came out, and I had a power enough computer, so I bought Oblivion twice. But it's definitely Warcraft 3, if you count the 4th being Reforged, which I pre-ordered, which was not my favorite life moment.
Same. I kept it though because I liked the meat wagon mount in World of Warcraft.
I kept it because they said they'd fix it, and I thought I'd be back, but. Yep. There's a lot of downhill really fast after that, so I've not been back.
Yeah, it's a shame. It's a shame that I bought the original Pokemon 3 times. Technically, my parents bought me my first copy. I think my grandparents bought me a copy of Pokemon Yellow, but then I went and bought Fire Red, and more recently, Let's Go Pikachu, which is yet another remake of the Kanto Pokemon experience. So yeah, I own 4 physical copies of the Kanto Pokemon experience.
If it ain't broke, don't fix it. Yeah.
I just really like that OG Pokemon, and it is comforting in a way that my favorite movies are comforting.
Mm-hmm.
I just like going back through it. I like that world. It's fun. Probably start doing that with Silver, because holy shit, Silver is really good, Kyle. you should drive yourself insane and try and beat Silver or Gold
while you're away. I've
got
plans.
It was totally surmountable, and my psyche did not suffer even a little bit.
Yeah, I have perfectly surmountable plans, of course, as these plans are. No errors expected, that I will be announcing next week.
Yeah. So yeah, I know there's more. I know there's more games I'm not thinking of that I have bought multiple times. But that comes to mind. Oh, and the Ocarina of Time and Majora's Mask, I bought the 3DS versions when those came out. Those were good. Those were fun.
Oh yeah, I got the DS version of Mario 64. Yeah, version changes. No, I just straight up bought 3 copies of Warcraft 3.
Yeah. 9 times out of 10, I buy it because it gets cheap enough. 1 out of 10 times is because I just like really love the game. And it's kind of like my favorite movies when we get a new format. Because like I bought Star Wars. I've had VHS Star Wars, DVD Star Wars, and Blu-ray Star Wars. I haven't bought a 4K Star Wars yet, except I have Andor.
Is there such
4K,
a thing?
But that's it. Yeah, no, you can buy the Star Wars. They have a 4K collection for Star Wars.
Huh.
They're of varying quality. The original trilogy looks really good because most of its film. The new trilogy obviously looks good because I think they shot that shit in 8K. The prequels are digitally upscaled because the special effects were done in 1080p.
Right. So the giant dinosaur rearing back in the middle of Mos Eisley just looks extra ass because it was a 3D object put on
that
top
one I don't
of
know. I
normal
think
film.
they may have redone that effect for the anniversary re-releases where they were advertising like digital projections. That may have been redone like a third time. I don't know. But the reviews for the original trilogy in 4K are quite glowing. I don't personally own it, so I can't speak to it. But heard it's good. It's fascinating that the prequels are the ones that haven't stood the test of time in terms of upscaling to 4K the best. But anyway, no Laserdisc. No, I wish there was a time in my life I really considered getting Laserdisc because it is the highest quality
original
home release of the unaltered trilogy that you can get is Laserdisc. We never got a DVD release of the original unaltered trilogy, and we never got a Blu-ray, and we never got a 4K.
It was decently affordable to get like 10 years ago. I doubt it is now.
I remember looking when I was in LA. There was a Jay and Bob's Secret Stash, which was a Clerks themed comic book and movie store down the street from where I worked. And it's where I bought a lot of my movies because they had a really good secondhand selection, and they had a Laserdisc section, and their copies of Star Wars were ridiculous. And this was 2010, and we were still talking big money back then for those. That's like a collector's holy grail if you love that original trilogy. So yeah. Oh, my dork, I love it. Anyways. That's going to bring us to the end of this edition of the Grinding Gear podcast. I see someone asking in chat. This is legit. This is not me. I'm not building a straw man.
It's a perfect time to do it.
Do we still recommend our doghouse? I love my doghouse. It's great.
Yeah, absolutely.
It's absolutely great. Yeah. The only issues I've had have been because I got a brand new NVIDIA card when they were new on the block, and they've had some bugs with their drivers, but that's what I get for being an early adopter, I guess. No, other than that, it's a rock solid unit. So check them out, doghousesystems.com. Use the code BROMANCE. We have a code. It's BROMANCE. You'll get a 1 terabyte NVMe drive. It's a free upgrade if you use our code. So, and as a matter of fact, I just got a notification today that someone used that code this morning. So
nice.
Thanks for the order, y'all. Appreciate you. We get notified because, we get supported when you use that code. And we get supported when you go to supportourbromance.com. Thank you for becoming a patron. We have another big wall, Kyle. This is the end of the Patreon-a-thon. So are you ready to help me read names? Are you ready to help me mispronounce names?
Let's go. Hell yeah.
Starting with Steven, middle initial A, last initial B. Thank you.
Turing Kai.
No.
Enraged Chicken.
Is that an Angry Chicken reference? Loot Boot.
Mantium.
Izzy B. Appreciate you.
Micah Ace.
Farting Way.
Farting Way. Nice. Elfie.
Noise. That was Elfie. I was talking over it. Lunar Faye.
Volteca.
Cloud RDS. Appreciate the support.
Sand Squared.
Krisdna. Chris NDA? I want to say Chris NDA on that.
Oh, yeah, that might be it.
Yeah.
Ashakura.
Endoresu.
Ashley M.
A person says hello. I see what you did there.
That's their name, yeah. Cleese.
ZKESB.
Marcy C.
DJ French Fry.
Kane.
Ryan B.
Tiny Greens.
Why'd you say it like that? Rook Takes Pone. Appreciate you.
KMCA.
Fernando F.
K.
Gabgano,
Caldazar,
Tim H,
Eddie R,
Chad B,
Musokia. What?
Muse Zero ICA.
Yeah, Musokia.
Keeper of the Lake Stop. Hey, I recognize that one.
Ryan S.
Blasty.
Auron 20004.
What happened to Auron 200003?
We don't. You don't want to know, man.
Slight Loris, appreciate you.
Whitehawk Omega.
Kiorlin, thank you. And we also want to give a shout out to Dennis, Ben, Harry OC, Ratolia, Drenot, Heather R, Andrew L, Jacob L, Elgato, Steel Scream, Trajan M. All of you, thank you for the raise.
Thank you so much.
That's a lot of raises. Appreciate you. And we appreciate our legendary level backers. We thank you each and every episode. We also give you a shout out at the end of our edited videos. So a big thanks to Sean B, Cheesy Bob, Lost Mythic, Zervon, Compside Jedi, Pothy P, Bloodsy Von Snugglegore, Evane, Shinny Geo, Nicholas C, Jerry T, Sean and Jen, Vernacular Ham, Brom, Vasilius, KLG Chaos, Main Take, Maisie, and Pins and Needles. This is where I would normally mention doghouse.systems.com, but I already did. Code is bromance. We're on social media sometimes when we feel like it. I'm a little winded on it at the moment. Go like the photo of me and Katie all dolled up on my Instagram.
Okay. Can I like it on X too?
No. Wait, maybe. I did tweet it. Yes, I did. I did in fact tweet that.
I'm going to Garrett Art and I'm liking it.
I also have a picture of the stage when Amanda came out to sing, which was awesome, by the way. And I think I also included a photo of us trying to fit Katie's poofy dress into the car. It was very amusing. It was very amusing. Yeah. So go check it out. Other than that, it's going to wrap it up for this edition. We're going to hang out after the live recording with folks in live chat, read some supers, and thank you for being here and your support. But that's it for the audio recording. GG.
Take care.
Let me back that up. That was long.
Back that up. I'm going to BRB. That was long. BRB.
That's it. I mean, they've all been over 2 hours-ish lately. But how are we doing, Chad? I've been trying to keep an eye on you. But had some industry discussion. Had to keep an eye on everything. Oh, I'm so glad. So whatever happened that one day, 2 podcasts ago? It must have been a motherboard BIOS update. Because everything is working splendidly now. Everything's been working splendidly. Good podcast as always. Well, thank you. Did you see the new mobile FF Dissidia game and who is the representative for the 14 carat? I heard about it. I didn't look at it past that. No, I don't know who the rep is for 14. The city of, oh my God, I can't type mobile FF14. Let's see if that fills me in. It does not quickly fill me in. No. I saw on Connor's Twitter, they got to visit Square. I'm not. This isn't me jealous. I'm not jealous at all. I'm not jealous.
What are you jealous about?
I'm not jealous. I'm definitely not jealous that Connor and the Trash Chase guys got to go to Square despite having still not beaten Final Fantasy 14. I'm not jealous at all.
When there is no justice in this world.
Between them and Asmongold, I think the best way to get a Yoshi P interview is to not play.
Just stop. Yeah. 14. Well, he wants you to finish it. He's a vampire. Once you're done with it, he doesn't care.
Yeah.
Oh no, that's I didn't know they got to go. I mean, they also had.
I'm really excited to see whatever the hell they do with it. I like those guys.
That's true. I'm surprised. A lot of people have been talking about the that fighting video game, but it's only mobile now.
I don't know if it's a new one and it's mobile.
Yeah,
mobile only.
I thought yeah.
No, we talked about it a bit on stream yesterday. I'm just not really a fighting game guy, and I'm I'm not going to become one just because it's Final Fantasy. So.
It's a large ask to get involved in a fighting game, and then you put mobile on top of it. And I've had a hard time even knowing how to get involved.
Yeah,
that's been kind of my issue.
Yeah. Oh, Gaia. That's right. People in chat were saying Gaia was the rep for 14.
Yeah. They've been doing some classic Super Smash Bros. Style hinting and setting up of who's who and who's from what. And can I just say, I hope this isn't a scandalous take. Bravely Default has to be the worst video game name I've ever heard in my life. Like, if you want to inspire,
but your take is just the name,
wonder and mystery and excitement in me. The name Bravely Default, terrible name. I never want to play a game called Bravely Default. That sounds like you walked out there and you're like, I prefer Wendy's. Grats. What a go. You really had at it.
Shut your mouth. I do prefer Wendy's. They have the best nuggets.
Triangle Strategy's pretty ass. That is an ass name. Hopefully it's 3 characters in a party, so at least it makes some sense.
What's the worst video game name ever? Someone posted this to Reddit and I got 2,000 comments. This was on R Gaming.
Let's hear it.
Over 2,000 upvotes. Dominion Storm over Gift 3.
Wow.
Was the most upvoted response, and apparently this game is explicitly not a sequel.
We need a classifier. Like, it has to have made a certain amount of money or something, because I know there's City of Heroes, Super. That's actually a decent.
The greatest name ever, because like to me, like it's hard to beat Half-Life. What a cool ass name! Like, just the name made me want to play that game. Like, what do you mean there's a game called Half-Life? That's the coolest shit I've ever heard. And I didn't even know about the science implication of it all yet. I learned about the science implication of Half-Life because of the game Half-Life.
Yeah. Is there anything about Half-Life in that game? Like, nothing. There's nothing about.
No, I don't.
Structure. It's kind of scientific. It's a facility.
I mean, the whole game is science gone wrong.
You push the shopping cart into the laser, and that's that.
That's it. That's it. The coolest shopping cart in the history of shopping carts.
Wuthering Waves is a pretty shit name. Because I just don't know what it's about.
That's pretty ass.
Like Black Desert, like I know there's a desert.
No, that's cool.
And I want to go there, I guess. Like maybe the sand's black. Name. That sounds cool. But what about the waves is weathering? Are we being worn down by the waves? Like the march of time is endless? Is this kind of a...
Warframe is a good name. Warcraft is a great name.
Yeah.
Zelda, Legend of Zelda is like, yeah, I want to experience that legend. That sounds like such an adventure. I want to go on that.
I am saying weathering. I'm saying weathering.
Wuthering.
Weathering.
Wuthering.
Weathering.
You're saying weathering.
No,
like you're making something look distressed.
No. I'm from Virginia. I would say, that's withered. You know?
No, that's wither, which is different from weather. Welcome to the English language, ladies and gentlemen. Enjoy your stay.
No, this is my accent. I'm allowed to do this. No, this is my Virginian accent.
Everyone is all about tolerance and not being racist until it comes to an American accent, and then you're allowed to be as racist as you want.
And I can't.
Yeah, say Cool Whip.
I can't,
Kyle.
because
say
now we're thinking about it. You know, I can't say it. I can't, because what I'd say, you have to catch me in the moment. You like in 10 minutes, ask me what I like to put on my pies.
Yeah.
Because now I'll probably say more whip. I'll be a bit more whippy about it. Also,
aluminum does not count. Aluminum is spelt differently in other countries.
Well, and aluminium is like is a moment thing. That's all about like what it's.
Aluminum is spelt aluminium in the countries that pronounce it that way. It is not just straight up a pronunciation difference. It is also a localized spelling difference, which was amusing to watch one of my teachers learn in college when he was ripping on our Scottish classmate. And she's like, it's spelt different, you jackass. And then he shut up real quick. It was very amusing.
So is withering not a real word?
That's a good question.
Okay, it means it's the present.
Wither.
According to this, the presence of wither. It's about being windy, I guess, but that also means they picked a name even slightly associated with one of the most shit books ever written, Wuthering Heights, with Heathcliff, the absolute waste of time character.
According to Oxford Languages, it is a word of weather characterized by strong winds.
I do like saying aluminium, though. Aluminium's fun to say.
Aluminium's fun to say. Yeah, it is fun to say.
So we need like the most. What we need is the name of video games that made at least a certain amount of money.
There's no quick way to come up with this, Kyle.
I bet. I mean, there's probably a good chance we can find some shit names just by looking up highest grossing JRPGs, but that's kind of cheating.
Concord. Yeah.
Concord does elicit.
It's not that bad of a name. We think it is because the game is like was a famous flop.
Yeah, Concord actually kind of elicits a sort of nostalgic retro color scheme in my head, and I like that.
To me, it makes me think of a retired cool ass jet because the Concords were those jets that they ended up retiring.
Golden Sun is a really good video game name.
That is a good name. Yeah, no, I'm with you on that. It's good.
Soul Blazer is an ass name.
So, yeah.
Ooh, Valkyrie Profile. That's ass.
Oh, I kind of like that one.
I like the word Valkyrie.
I'm okay with that.
But Valkyrie Profile, that's kind of ass.
That sounds like an AI that would go rogue in an episode of the TV show of Ghost in the Shell, and I'm into that.
Valkyrie
Profile has gone rogue.
Vagrant Story does kind of elicit curiosity in me.
Yes. It does sound boring.
It's a very boring name. But
not bad.
Yeah.
It sounds serious and slow, but maybe moving.
That's how I feel about any Trails of the Sky, Trails of whatever. Like when someone's like, the Trail series, I'm like, that just sounds like a lot of hours.
Sorry, I'm just reading Momoka in chat saying Valkyrie Profile made me emo.
All right, well now we need to look into Valkyrie Profile.
All right, does it look emo? Does it look emo is my question. Does it pass the emo test? Not in the slightest.
All I see is,
well, this is just people in armor. Why does this make you emo? Emo aesthetics are a 0 out of 10.
I'm not seeing it. I see a classic Valkyrie outfit. I see some bad guys.
This is like all the shit I'm seeing on freaking social media these days with like what a goth girlfriend is supposed to look like. And it's just an Instagram model wearing black clothes. I'm like, nah. If she's not wearing a way too big for her Slipknot t-shirt, that ain't a real goth. I'm not.
Oh, let him have.
I'm not buying it.
I don't know, man.
I'm not buying it.
I for one am happy the goth girl survives for the next generation. Let them have whatever they want to call it.
Nah, I'm gatekeeping it. If she didn't get the majority of her wardrobe from Spencer's gifts, I'm not, it doesn't pass.
She's not going to commit to the bangs. It's not a real goth girl. Let's be honest here.
An Instagram-based goth is a goth. Oh my god! Wow, damn.
That's ridiculous.
Damn. All right, shut it down. That's amazing. That's amazing. That's freaking fantastic. Oh my word. Oh shit, that's good. Catching up on some messages here. Duncan, thanks for the 40 freaking months, my dude. My god. My favorite mushroom boy for Loom. It should be illegal to be this good at both status and focus punch. Oh, we're going back to Pokemon.
What?
Oh, he is a good boy.
The autofill was weakness. Is he an asshole? Like, is this something people struggle with? Because autofill was
dude. Yeah.
Autofill was
The
what
other
is his
night.
weakness?
Oh God, what was it? Why was I searching this? Oh God. Crap. I can't remember. I was sitting there with Katie, and we were Googling. It started with like "my wife no longer," and the autofills are the most depressing things you have ever seen in your life.
Wait, what was it?
It was "my wife no longer."
Oh shit!
But I can't remember what we were actually searching. Oh, she was no longer linked to my Amazon Prime. And so I was like, what the shit happened? And I typed in my wife no longer, and the autocompletes were loves me, desires me, finds me sexually attractive, finds me attractive, believes in God. And I'm like, oh my God, people
Holy
are having a
shit.
bad time. Holy shit.
Wow.
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh, you know what? My Kids Are is actually pretty decent. The top result is listening to Kids Bop. That's got to be an ad. There's no way.
My Kids Are my world.
Yeah.
My everything quotes are driving me crazy.
Uh-huh.
My world. Always fighting. Out of control. My life. Listening to Kids Bop.
Why is Kids Bop up there? That's got to be an ad. There's no way people are organically searching for Kids. Kids Bop happens incidentally.
Well, you can report it inappropriate. So, send that Google's way. Man, that's funny. Kids Bop is eternal.
Oh, my dad is my hero is the autofill.
My dad is... Oh yeah, it's in there. It takes me a while to get to it. My dad is the hidden boss. What is this? Is this a show?
It might be.
It's all hidden boss, and then it gets said, "My dad is my hero." Okay, and then my dad is Bigfoot, which is apparently a film.
My mom is the best. My mom rocks. My mom is awesome. My mom is kind of homeless. Is the autofill below
kind
that?
of?
Kind of, yeah. It might be like a video series.
Okay, I thought that was that's a binary.
Oh, it's an iShowSpeed quote from some stream, I guess.
Oh, okay.
So it looks like it.
I've never watched iShowSpeed. He looks like he's having a good time.
He does, yeah.
I feel like I should probably get educated.
He comes up in the memes pretty often.
Okay.
I've never seen him doing anything bad in the memes. He's usually just meeting people, or people are being crazy at him, and he has to run for his life. So
I've never seen him make headlines for takes that I find completely insane and intentionally said to incite people.
Yeah.
Which these days is more or less the bar I'm looking for entertainers to clear.
Mostly it's just a clean backflip, that's all that's going on there.
Yeah. My mom is kind of homeless clip will live forever in my head. Oh man, I gotta see this.
Okay, apparently I'm not caught up on
the iShowSpeed lore.
Yeah.
Did you see the Ludwig clip that Iprick shared the other day?
Yes, I did. That was amazing.
I was in tears laughing. It was so funny. Jesus Christ.
Maybe
at this point, I have actually seen a decent amount of Ludwig. I would actually consider myself a Ludwig fan. I had never seen that. That was really funny.
Maybe I just suck. Maybe I'm kind of dumb.
Whatever happened to ass? whatever happened to just being ass? I graduated with a 2.9. And I had a buffer class. That whole quote, that whole run on is gold. Anyway, Sleepless One, thanks for the super earlier. Our courtship was, here's how to turbocharge your druid healing. Oh,
yeah. You found a common.
That's sweet.
A common goal.
Also, I'm jealous. I cannot give Katie instruction. She will never learn a thing from me. She does not want me to tell her what to do.
Optimization's fine, but yeah, just raw what to pick talent-wise strategy. No, that's something we both kind of are like.
Starting something new from scratch is she's not going to have a good time if I'm teaching her. Yeah, micro adjustments totally fine. Did you watch Connor, Chris, and Natsuki track driving? Yes, you bet. That I watched that day one. YouTubers I like doing car content in Japan. Yeah, that's a day one watch for me, dog. I watched that immediately. It was a great video.
Oh, here the gamer has the top 10 worst names of successful video games. I guess Callisto Protocol wasn't terribly successful, but you know, that is a pretty ass name.
That was an okay name.
Yeah.
I didn't mind it.
It's decently ass.
Name.
Like a Dragon Pirate Yakuza in Hawaii.
Go to hell. That name is awesome. Love it.
I think it's a decent bit of God's work to call that out and just like let it be known that that's kind of ass, but we get where it came from.
Nah, I love it.
Battlefield 1.
Battlefield 1. That is a shit name.
That is a shit name.
The trend of just putting 1 in names or even console titles in the case of the Xbox was the dumbest trend in gaming at the time. It's terrible.
Peak.
No, Peak's a good name. That's really clever. No, Gamer sucks. They're just trying to get angry retweets at that.
I think it would have been better
farming.
before we called things Peak and the Peak Cinema and all that.
They're farming and it's working because we're talking about it on stream right now.
Silent Hill F.
This is just recency bias.
Yeah.
These are just games that came out recently.
Divine
Get better
Divinity.
material.
Actually, this is an ass game name.
Yes.
Divine Divinity was pretty sick. But that is
that's kind of the joke though, right? Is that it's a shit name?
Well, it was part of the Divine series, so I'd have to do some Wikipedia actually, but that was an ass name. I've never heard of Drova Forsaken Kin. I think that name's kind of badass actually.
I've never heard of it.
In like a book title way. I don't think I'd play a video game called this, but I'd be totally interested.
If it was a colon and not a hyphen, I would like it more.
This was a pretty good game, though.
I've never heard of it.
I've never said it aloud. But
did you just call it V's?
Or do you call it VV? I've just never had a reason to talk about it aloud, but it's a great game. It's actually a really solid.
Or do you call it V?
It's a platformer, you know? Like it was kind of a Super Meat Boy kind of. I've never played Super Meat Boy. I shouldn't make that comparison.
No, we can fix this. Just play Super Meat Boy.
Just play Super Meat Boy. Okay.
Drake of the 99 Dragons.
I remember this game. I rented it. I really like.
This looks like something Kyle. This is a Kyle rental.
Well,
this is Kyle rental written all over it.
Duo Pistols was badass post Matrix, and what year was this?
Yeah, but that's why I played. Oh my God, Max Payne.
Max Payne. I just did Shotgun and Max Payne. The Shotgun was amazing.
Well, I showed up to Dual Wield Pistols and Bullet Time. I stayed because I found the Shotgun.
Well said. Well said.
Yeah, the Shotgun was amazing in that game.
The number one game, according to The Gamer, is Survive the Fall.
That honestly sounds like an early 2000s like scene band. Although there is a band called Bless the Fall, and I do think they suck.
Survive the Fall is a really good band name.
Yeah.
I mean, now you just have to do a list because there's probably a lot of ass zombie game titles. What was the one on motorbikes? What was the motorcycle zombie game?
Motorcycles? Oh, Days Gone.
Days Gone. That's an ass name. But I kind of like what it evokes.
It's just fine.
It's just not a
zombie movie.
It's not.
Oh, you know what I didn't talk about on the show? I watched the new the 28 Years Later.
Oh, you saw the who's Scarecrow's name? The Cillian Murphy zombie. You saw the Cillian Murphy zombie.
He's not in this one.
No, but the joke is that his kids came to him and was like, dude, you're in the movie. And he was like, what are you talking about? And there's some emaciated
the
zombie.
internet did that, and his kids showed him the virality of us all thinking that emaciated corpse looked like him, and apparently he thought it was a bit mean. And I mean,
I thought he said, because when I saw the quote, maybe it was early in the run, but he said that he was happy people were thinking about him, but he doesn't go online anymore.
It was really good. It was really freaking good. Way more penises than I thought I was signing up for.
Like equal opportunity penises, like a Game of Thrones?
That movie is full of so many phalluses. It's ridiculous. They put the dick in ridiculous.
Huh.
Yeah, but it was a good movie. Really well shot too. I really liked how it looked. I haven't seen a movie that it was anytime they were focusing on a zombie, it was shot like a Nine Inch Nails music video. It was really upsetting like way too close, quick cuts. And anytime they would focus on human actors just kind of exploring, it looked like the Lord of the Rings. It was like these beautiful vistas, these overgrown, like
cool
English countrysides. And it was just gorgeous to look at, man. And that, like, particularly like the opening 30 minutes of the movie, like that dichotomy between the two, like they're wide freaking like helicopter shot, probably a drone shot these days, but whatever, wide shot of these two characters walking and scavenging through the lands, and it's just gorgeous. And then like they see a zombie, and then just like hard cut to like the close up of the most horrific makeup you've ever seen in your life.
Yeah, the claustrophobia. That sounds awesome.
I just never really seen. I haven't seen a movie like edit their horror in that way, and it was very well shot. So like the cinematography was good, but also the editing. Like whoever edited this movie, like, oh, they brought it. They freaking brought it.
Oh, that juxtaposition sounds amazing, because that's the whole appeal of the zombie apocalypse, is the peaceful nature of the apocalyptic world. Next to
it was like, yeah, it ended, and Katie was like, "What'd you think?" And I was like, "This is weird to say, but I thought it was beautiful. Like, it is a gorgeous movie." It's a weird thing to say about a movie with like that much grotesque nudity and murder.
I want more isekais to do that. That's why I love the You Die in the Game, You Die for Real, because it's all about experiencing this beautiful otherworldly world, and then you get
Otherworldly World would also make the top 10 of the worst names.
The Otherworldly World, yeah. Well, it's my new JRPG with roguelike elements.
Yeah. How about Jet Set Radio Future? I think that's a cool name. I like that name.
I can't speak to that one. That is a beloved game. That's a great name.
I have no nostalgia for Jet Set Radio, and I'm here to say I think that's a cool name.
I think Jet Grind Radio is more yellable, and I hear it in the DJ's voice. Grind
is easier to shout than... it just translates better to shouting. Juan Yoren, thanks for the super earlier. I just played new Pokemon for 3 hours. Now I really enjoy it. If you play Pokemon Legend Arceus before, it's like that game, but combat is real time now. Somewhat refreshing, and yes, it is a sequel to the XY story. Oh, okay, cool. I knew it took place in like the same general location. So yeah, I was figuring, as someone who did revisit Pokemon this year and really enjoyed my time, that I should probably play X and or Y before I try this new game.
Oh, that makes sense why the multiplayer looks the way it does. I thought that was a conceit they were doing to have that multiplayer. Real-time combat, weird.
Well, I think that was a thing in Arceus, wasn't it?
I'm not sure.
Gotcha. During our just discussion about the game industry, Terakai supered, we should bring back FMVs in games to bring down costs. I mean, there's all kinds of things you can do to bring down costs, but I'd be into that.
There are so many
FMVs.
Cute point-and-click games made with FMVs. I wonder how that would go. I loved them back in the old Jedi Knight days. The Dark Forces, right? That was the one with the in-game cutscenes.
Dark Force. Yeah, well, no, Dark Forces had cutscenes. They were not FMV. Rebel. Was it Alliance? That was an FMV game. That was like a real... It was like live action video FMV, because FMV just stands for full motion video, so it can be applied to a lot of things.
Yeah.
When I think of with FMV, I think of like the PlayStation 1 Final Fantasy cutscenes, where they're like fully pre-rendered animations, and so it's not actually driving the hardware of the PlayStation. It's just playing a video that's on the disc, so they can hide load times.
Oh, I thought an FMV had to be a video with real actors in it.
No, but it can be.
Yeah. This is trying.
No, but a lot of people refer to those PS1 cutscenes as FMV, because FMV just stands for full motion video, so it can be applied to a lot of different things.
Okay, I was thinking of like the old, the Dark Forces 2 with the real actors doing the stuff. I love those things back in the day.
I do think about it as FMV as well, and I think the first FMV game was real actors, because that was Night Trap, that really controversial game where you're like stalking babysitters, like you're a slasher through like cameras in the house.
Oh, sure. There's one of those a year kind of situation.
So I do. Yeah, I think think that's why a lot of people connect FMB with real like actors.
Yeah, so a pre-rendered cutscene. I think it's.
I don't know. I don't know what the difference between FMB and pre-rendered cutscene is because, yeah. Generally, when lay folk talk about FMB, they reference live action. Yeah, but it's such a popular term to describe those like PS1 Final Fantasy cutscenes. It's one of those. It's one of those terms that I find really annoying because like it's too complicated to quickly get across information, which is the whole reason we come up with these damn acronyms in the first place.
Yeah, I guess there is some immersion lost when you have the graphics set to low and then the graphics get really nice for a cutscene, but ultimately the conceit's already there. I know what I've done to my machine to make it play.
Yeah.
StarCraft 2 had some really cool quality controls, but they were also extremely frustrating.
What are you talking about?
Like they would, if you set StarCraft 2 all the way to lowest, which is what I played it on a, what was it, Apple Mini at the time?
Oh God, I remember your old Apple. That thing was a potato.
Every time they talked, they'd go like this. They replaced every body motion and every hand gesture with just this nod. And it was a looping animation on the body, which probably meant they could preload it and then play it over and over again.
Ugh. That's all. That's such a good campaign too, and those in-game cutscenes are pretty sick.
Yeah,
that's a shame. What an awful way to experience that game. I'm surprised you liked it as much as you did.
I knew what I had done to it was the thing, right? And so when I finally got to play it on a good computer, that was very nice to see. Doubled my playtime.
Yeah. Shit, Dad, thank you for the 5 gifted memberships.
Yeah, thank you so much.
During the podcast. It's really generous of you. Appreciate you. Mika Magic with the perfectly timed support the bromance as we were ending the show. Thank you. Sleepless One said, well, now I know what I need to load up on a really big USB thumb drive to send to Garrett. Wait, what?
All right.
Shit.
Hang on.
Read this in the moment.
Finding timestamp.
Oh no, my chat already doesn't go back far enough. You still around, Sleepless One?
So that would have been.
The heck were we talking about here?
Right at 2.5 hours. Oh no, it was right when
4K Star Wars original trilogy scan.
Okay.
Oh shit.
Oh.
I have been sent the despecialized edition on the thumbstick, but I believe that's only 1080p.
I have my VHS,
which I of course promptly destroyed.
Yes, promptly.
If anyone from Disney is listening. Christopher Clayton Super. Today I learned Kyle doesn't want to be brave by default. I learn new things about Kyle every day. And that's why despite his opinions, I keep talking to him.
It's a terrible fault of mine that I glaze out. You do this too though. You've had the same reaction as me, but yours is based on art.
What?
For Bravely Default.
Some of it I think is good. There are other things I think it was like the overworld where I was like,
because
not doing a whole lot.
Because he said the art was pretty, but the in game is that
the illustrations were pretty. The in game didn't do much for me.
Yeah, it's
although the one you grabbed, boy, they got a big. Oh yeah, like kind of the chibi thing going on. Yeah, nah, dog. That art too, though. They got a strong case of the same face. that can bug me too. Although I like Toriyama, and Toriyama kind of draws the same face for everybody and differentiates it by
conceit,
by hair and clothes. I do love Toriyama, so I should probably be a little more forgiving of same face. Imarachi, super running behind, but the mention of the 9 Inch Nails and Tron reminds me of how the OG Quake was going to be musicless until Nine Inch Nails frontman asked to do the music for the game because of his love of Doom. Hell yeah.
That's crazy.
There's a famous photo of Trent Reznor and oh my God, my brain. David Lynch together, and Trent Reznor is wearing a Doom t-shirt, and it's such a freaking sign of the times. Let me see if I can find this.
Yeah, I got it for you. That one there.
Oh, you found it. Yeah, I love this photo, man. This is just the most.
Look at that.
Imagine it's the 90s. You're at a LAN party. You just watched a VHS recorded copy of Twin Peaks for the first time, and you're playing Quake. Ugh.
Those games were. I mean,
the only time I ever played Quake was at a LAN party.
Yeah. It
was a really good time. I recommend it if you've never played Quake. I recommend your first time being at a LAN party.
My era was Unreal Tournament, but yeah, it was a heck of an experience.
Yeah, I was already playing Team Fortress 1 and Counter-Strike. So I never really fell into the Quake or the Unreal Tournament rabbit hole. There's like a really heavy 2 years there of OG Counter-Strike for me. Yeah. Good times. Kyle, when are we playing paintball? This is happening. When are we strapping some GoPros to ourselves?
I've heard it's kind of warm, so it 'tis the season, I guess.
Dude, it's so nice outside. It is. Yeah. Let's end this so we can go outside.
That sounds lovely. Let's end this. We'll be back tomorrow, everybody, with the end of Expedition 33. Hope you join us.
We're not going to get to go outside at all tomorrow. We have a lot of ground to cover.
Tomorrow's going to be big video game day.
Big video game day. We might be starting earlier. We might be alive. We might be alive. We might be live around 11 a.m. Eastern time. So come join us. Spend the day with us. We'll be in your ears, in your eye holes all day tomorrow.
See you soon.
Katie told me to warn her around 7 if I'm going to be any longer to just order pizza to your house and let her know that she's on her own for dinner.
Sounds good. So,
yeah,
I think my builds are sick. I think we're going to use this thing.
Did you go get the sword from wherever the hell it was from?
What sword? LOL.
There's a sword in some optional area that we didn't have access to until now that apparently is really, really cool for Verso.
Oh, no, the one I joked about, the Corpso sword. That thing's badass. So I'll show you tomorrow.
Oh, you did a Corpso build. Yeah. Okay, sick. I'm excited to see it.
It's pretty sick.
Let's freaking go.
Bye, everybody.
I am.
Wait,
okay, bye.
Oh, wait. Do you have more to say?
I was also going to say, I'm also not opposed to just like brute forcing Dualiso to actually beat the game because I think that would be kind of dope.
Nah, we have the 2 turns. We don't need Dualiso.
Oh, you've already got 2. Okay, it's 6.
We're all set, man. We're spec'd out.
It's all good. See you tomorrow for Expedition 33 finale, everybody. GG.